Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Airy Sky Rita Lee's video blog. I'm Krabby McCoffee, also known as Airy Sky. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're a comer backer, welcome. So, let's just say we got a lot of prepping information this morning. Higgins is saying, go to bed, you're sick. Well, guess what, Higgins? Why don't you go to bed? Because, So, I want to tell you guys a couple news articles first. I haven't checked the news this morning about President Trump and his indictment or anything. We're not talking about that this morning. Should prep for Civil War just in case. For you preppers out there that are for Donald Trump, well, you guys are a mystery at times. Me, I just don't trust either party. So, this morning we're going to try some coffee. I didn't have coffee at all yesterday at all. 24 plus hours of no coffee. I think it was like 36. The reason I'm trying this to see what had happened with my stomach. Either it's going to give me gas or it's going to push out whatever it is. I had a big salad last night. I actually had a large salad. Zoe would be happy if she was around. I had a salad with romaine lettuce and iceberg. I had bacon bits. I had fresh bacon bits. Cucumbers. I had croutons. And I had cucumbers and bell peppers, various colored bell peppers. So I have leftovers for today. Fortunately, I was wanting a house salad. Those ones with the croutons and everything. Of course, it's we'll just go buy one that's cheaper. Well, she didn't tell me how much it cost because I asked for my receipts, And anyway, school is now in session. All right, let's get on with prepping and the news. So, people have been asking me again in an email about the black swan. All right, now let me tell you what's going on with the black swan, okay? The black swan is going to be an event that's so undetermined that it could happen every 100 years or something, right? So I specifically went in here and I basically chose I went to I went to a website that was talking about different things, and I was putting the pieces together this morning. I was watching movies last night. Watched the movie again. I don't talk about it much. A Man Named Otto. Now, Chloe says to me, shouldn't you get a DVD of it? Yeah, if you're depressed of yourself, and et cetera. So basically it goes like this, okay? The news is this. School's in session, I repeat. Kremlin's prepared to respond to tactically and strategically to Finland's NATO ascension. Remember, they said if any more expansions, they would nuke NATO. Well, there you go. They're basically rattling the saber. Could be saber rattling. Also, let's just say, I do want to say if Zoe is around, and she still watches me. Zoe and I had this heart-to-heart one time. She said, oh, no one's going to touch Donald Trump. He's not going to be indicted. Nothing, Right? Now, I got a lot of emails that came in, okay? A lot of emails that stated that, they think Tildor's jackass, okay? Plain and simple. Now, let me just say, Tildor could be a jackass. Tildor could be just scaring people. But I'm starting to think if we put the puzzle pieces together, this is what you're getting. My intel people are saying the same thing, all right? Tactical nukes. When will it happen? No one knows. That's why you need to order now and hope like hell you get your supplies in. Look, let me put it to you this way. We're in a basement, okay? There's concrete around us, right? Fortunately, we had to worry more about radiation, all right? So I told Chloe. Chloe was like, wow, what if I basically... You see, Chloe needs an exact date, okay? Because Chloe's not going to be happy leaving $300-400 in spam into spam and water with me if there's nothing happened by April 30th. Then, we all conned her. So Right now, she is very high alert, doesn't want to spend a penny, but she's spending my money again over her money. And that could get her in trouble because I didn't authorize her to spend my money. I told her to go get tobacco and with cash, of course, and quarters. So today's plan is she's got to go to the therapist appointment at 2. She's got to go to the bank at 3. I got to fill in the thing, you know. But anyways, as a prepper, you must prep. You preppers come to me and you email me. So let me read you this report, okay? Moscow is accusing NATO of threatening Russia's security and national interests. See? Oh, well, what is NATO doing? They're basically threatening, right? No, they're basically protecting the European Union by officially welcoming Finland into the alliance at a ceremony in Brussels later today, Tuesday. See? So now they're threatening to go to war with us. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told journalists that Finland's ascension is an aggravation of the situation, referring to Moscow's claim that military alliance is planning to encroach on Russia's borders. Look, if Russia's here, I mean, every border has been secured by NATO, okay, for Russia. What does that tell you? It means we're basically protecting the people, not Russia. Well, Russia just wants to march into any other country, stick its flag on it, and say, okay, we're done. Finland shares 800-mile, 1,300-kilometer border with Russia, but NATO Secretary Jens Stoltenberg told reporters earlier that the alliance troops would only be stationed in Finland with the country's consent. The move, Peskov warned, will force Moscow to take countermeasures to ensure our security, both tactically and strategically. See, those two words right there ring out, right? Tactically and strategically. What does it mean? It means nuclear war. They're going to use tactical nukes and strategic nukes. Why? Because Russia is scared. And Russia's making alliance with China and North Korea and Iran, all right? They're all dictators. If they wipe out the entire world, while they sit in bunkers, they might be sitting in bunkers for 500 years, okay? I don't know what other preppers think, but this is getting real. This is where you need to turn around and think. Think of it. Said Moscow would keep monitoring the situation and the deployment of NATO infrastructure and weapons on the territory of Finland. Response measures will be taken accordingly. While Russia's premise for its invasion of Ukraine is part to fend off NATO from expanding close to its borders, Peskov rejected claims that Finland's ascension, a direct response to the war, was a geopolitical defeat for Russia's President Vladimir Putin, claiming it's a fundamentally different from the situation with Ukraine. Yeah, because Ukraine ain't part of NATO. Ukraine got in and joined NATO during this war. You know, so basically, let's talk about that, okay? So I'm just trying to see if there's any other news for you guys. So Western allies have delivered more than $70 billion in military. Oh, by the way, we just gave another almost $3 billion. See, it says NATO says it's not seen any change in Russia's nuclear posture since Belarus announcement putting him in Belarus. Yeah. So the International Monetary Fund's giving $3 billion. So apparently, hearing for cafe exploded. Let's just go down this. Let's see, delegation. See, I'm trying to go through the news. Okay, so 2 members in NATO are still holed up. Apparently Sweden is next, and then if you look at this map, you got United Kingdom. Ireland ain't part of it. Apparently Iceland. You got Spain, France, Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, Germany, Italy, Montenegro, Albania, Greece, Bulgaria, North Macedonia, Turkey, Romania, Hungary, Slovakia, Czechoslovakia Republic, Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Norway, like I said, United Kingdom. Finland's been ascended. That would leave only two, Ukraine and Sweden. Now, in my opinion, looking at this map here, Sweden's not really of a threat because it's not on the border. Fortunately, that's what it is. We got some more updates, but I'm just telling you, So apparently, there's a news article, about $2 trillion or something. The West is pushing. Russian spy chief says that we're pushing Georgia into conflict. Probably, but who knows? I don't believe it. Truly historic. Look at this. Finland's ascension into NATO is truly historic. Results of Russia's invasion in Ukraine. Russian defense minister claims Belarus aircraft have been upgraded to carry nuclear strikes. This is another reason why we are going through this news articles this morning over my morning coffee, because frankly, got two things I'm working on. I'm trying to work on pinching a loaf. Stomach's still not feeling too good. And two is I want to get you guys prepped. All right, we're in school. This is your school session. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu has claimed the Belarusian aircraft have been upgraded to be able to carry out nuclear strikes in response to NATO's imminent expansion. Part of the Belarusian attack aircraft acquired the ability to strike at enemy targets with nuclear weapons. The Iskander-M operational tactical missile system handed over to the armed forces of Belarus that can use missiles, both conventional and nuclear. Shoigu went on to say Belarusian forces were being trained on the Iskander systems. Russian defense minister claims the decision to give Belarus the nuclear capability system was a response to NATO's expansion towards Russia's borders, with Finland set to join the alliance Tuesday. Though the Nordic state shares 800 miles with Russia, Stoltenberg told reporters earlier that NATO would be stationed in Finland with the country's consent. Yeah. However, Shoigu said the retaliatory measures were necessary in defending the security of the Union state. NATO is carrying out a set of measures to increase the combat readiness of the joint armed forces, intensifying combat training and reconnaissance activities near the borders of Russia and Belarus in the near future. Finland will become a member of the alliance. Defense minister remarked following Russian President Vladimir Putin's announcement that Moscow would complete the construction of a storage facility for tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus before July. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg reiterated Tuesday the alliance had not seen any change of Russia's nuclear posture that would force it to adjust to its own stance. Remember, let me just tell you a story. So now they're asking for Ukraine to join. Now let me look at it, see, Yeah, here it is. Again, they reiterated this, the same story, like 4 hours later. It says Moscow will take countermeasures to ensure security, both tactically and strategically. Again, remember those words, tactically and strategically. This is an article they doubled up on. Why did they double up on it? To tell you better prepare your sorry ass now to prep. And then what was it I said? they're going to keep, Moscow's going to keep deployment and infrastructure, right? Tactically and strategically. Yeah. And there was one other word in here. Remember, I always look at words. Response measures will be taken accordingly. Vladimir Putin claiming it's a fundamentally different from the situation in Ukraine. So he's claiming, we got to go to war with NATO because NATO is encroaching on our area. And then the other news, China must demand Russia leave Ukraine if it wants peace. They don't want peace. They want to wipe out the entire world. Says Russian inflation on a downward trend as Moscow implements programs to strengthen. So prices are growing, salaries are not. Russia doesn't give that big of a salary. That's the thing. So, yeah. And the Biden administration is preparing to declare Gershkovich as wrongfully detained by Russia. He's like a news anchor or something. I think with the Wall Street Journal, I think it was. So to me, I think. So apparently, let's just catch up real quick, okay? So later, Finland joins NATO. Ukraine response wants to join NATO. Moscow's response is aggravation and nuke. NATO to Ukraine, $70 billion. NATO has not seen any changes in Russia's nuclear posture since Putin announced last month's planned tactical nuclear weapon. It could be true, it could not be true, but I think he's basically trying to. So Sweden's next on the list. And then Putin and Lukashenko will hold talks in Moscow soon. Now, let me get another cup of coffee. Now, you guys are wondering, what's that mean? It means they can turn around and use tactical, plan a tactical nuclear strike if they wish. They're basically just trying to rattle the saber, okay? A lot of you preppers out there need to basically get ready to prep and prep hard. I mean, literally, I just placed an order yesterday, okay? I want to test some more radios out, but guess what? This ain't radio time. This might be the time you better get your ass in here. Let me tell you a story about something. I got a feeling, okay? This is the problem, all right? I got a feeling, right? No, we're not going to see anything. We're not going to see, we may see Easter, but we may not see May 1st, So I'm going to ask Tildor a question since Tildor's, I assume he's a farmer. He's working right now, but got a question for you, by the way. He always says, grab a cold one. The doctors are telling me that beer and the alcohol, liquid bread, is damaging my stomach more, and it's made it more sensitive. That's why I'm having some stomach problems. So this is why I'm taking some medication and realizing that anything made with wheat's giving me trouble. Now, last night the croutons were the only thing giving me trouble. The salad was fine. So, anyways, can we just continue this? So, Finnish president calls it a great day for Finland. For all these people are saying, So, let's see. So, Ukraine now got donations of MiG-29 fighters. Remember, whoever donated the airplanes was going to be quote-unquote nuked. Remember that. that was something you guys got to think about, you know, um, on that aspect. So remember, they were threatening that aspect. Let me see here what's going on. Any comments? No. And then on top of that, you got Russian foreign ministry. This was 2 hours ago. Bitter criticism against Finland's ascension. Nordic country will not influenced by any decision. NATO has given up its unique identity and lost its independence, which for decades gave it special status in international affairs. Finland became a minor NATO member without the possibility of influence any decision lost out of its state's international affairs. The ascension will have negative effect on Russia and Finland's bilateral relations. Russian Federation and national security threats rising from the ascension will depend on part of the deployment of NATO's military infrastructure and offensive weapons on its territory. On its territory. Remember, Russia doesn't own NATO. NATO doesn't own Russia, right? But they're talking about Finland, right? Well, if Finland says yes, you may put nukes here, you may do this, you may do that. That means one thing. But do you think as that? Let me put it to you this way, okay? Russia is afraid, okay? Like Russia doesn't need to be afraid. If I was president, I would look in President Putin's eyes and say, look, do you see any nuclear weapons from the United States being held in European countries like Finland? And if you say yes, then I'd like to know where, because think about it. You're basically making a mountain out of a molehill, or a molehill out of a mountain, or whatever. So last night for lunch, I had some better cheddars. If you guys didn't know, that held in my stomach. But the problem I'm having is with my IBS flare-ups is either I got diarrhea or constipation. And constipation hurts too. I must probably have like 20 pounds of turds. Okay, so anyways, let's get back to this. By joining NATO, yada, 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 the ascension will have a negative impact on Russia and Finland's. But yeah, okay, so it says Russian Federation response to national security threats arise from the ascension will depend on the deployment of, yeah, okay. Earlier, Kremlin says warned the move will force Moscow to take countermeasures to ensure our own security tactically and strategically. Again, this is where the black swan's about to fly. And I hope Zoe gets out of Chicago. I do care for Zoe dearly. You know, Zoe knows this, but you know, Zoe, she's hard-headed. And if I make it to Christmas, I'll be lucky. But if we all make it to Christmas, we're going to be lucky. That's the thing. Let me tell you what's going on in the world, okay? I'm going to tell you something very important in the end of the story, okay? Let's skip this. This is about Russian blogger. The U.S. announces an hour and 30 minutes ago another $2.6 billion to the taxpayers' aid fund to Ukraine. So you taxpayers, right? U.S. and EU pledged to confront attempts to destabilize global energy markets amid Russia-Ukraine war. So the European Union and EU has now made pledges to protect the world infrastructure of the infrastructure and directly confront any attempts to weaponize energy and destabilize global energy markets as Russia's war. So it says the EU-U.S. Energy Council in Brussels. Western leaders have warned Russian president against weaponizing its energy exports since Russia launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine last year. This also could discuss ways to bolster energy in Ukraine to Moldova following the ascension and synchronization of Ukraine-Moldova with the European grid. Statement said they also vowed to continue coordinating bilateral and multilateral response to keep the global energy market stable. So they're trying to basically dictate fuel prices, but at the same time. So I will get to the other news in a minute. I'm just checking this. Finland takes its first NATO meeting. for ratification. So let's go over to the other issue. I got to check something else out. Yep. So apparently it says here, okay. Big old news all over online. Let me just go do this, okay. So apparently the news currently is saying Trump is now under arrest. Okay, let's talk about that. It says Trump under arrest. Yes. And apparently he is under arrest, Now we get to find out, later what's going on. So I got to go to Chloe because you know how Chloe loves this stuff. She's probably going to do it. My stomach's giving me trouble. Okay, peeps. I'm back. So I had to share that with Chloe. She's all smiles and everything. You know what? I don't care, okay? I really don't care. You know what I care about? I'll tell you what I care about. Sorry if you see me gritting my teeth, it's pain. Alright? You guys need to know I'm in pain. I'm in real severe pain right now. Very severe pain. And no doctor doesn't know what it is. That's the problem. You get medical care and they tell you, oh, you need this and that, and then they won't give it to you because the elder will converse. Hey, Kane, what's up, brother or sister or whatever it is? Anyways, I'm still running a fever. How goes it, Kane? So, what are we talking about today? Prepping, students. My students, prepping. Now, we're going to take care of the prepping part of things. We're going to follow the Trump part of things. We take some medicine because of the. Okay. I want to tell you guys a severe story. I want to tell you a big story. How you doing, Kane? A big story about prepping today. Something is coming from my heart. You see, I love all of you. When you see the news and you hear tactically and strategic in one word, that means nuclear attack. Yes. You know. No. Dude, can we just get rid of this or whatever it is? Damn it, I hate when the damn auto video plays. I don't care. Just fucking close it. You're wasting my bandwidth, people. I'm trying to look for some news for you guys. Okay. So I care for all of you. I don't need to hear people turn around, okay, as a prepper and say, oh, Donald Trump says innocent. Look, I don't give a shit if he's innocent or guilty. I'm going to give the same rules of laws that applies to me to applies to Donald Trump. Innocent until proven guilty. It's like the neighbor. So let's go after the manager. Innocent until proven guilty. Manager is breaking the law. Innocent until proven guilty. We have to give all the people the right thing. Am I innocent? Yes. What did I do for the neighbor? I just told her to take a chill pill, and you can't get all the answers, right? So as a prepper, I just prepped her for a few outcomes. One, she could be homeless, the neighbor. Two, she could be homeless, Chloe. Three, we could be nuked beforehand, which would be nice. Or four would be something else. Now, as we're going to be talking today, I will be running, I think, to the bathroom shortly. I do want to tell you before I run to the bathroom momentarily that as a prepper, you got to ask yourself and listen to this carefully, okay? And that is when you're prepping, what are you prepping for? You're prepping for right now banking collapse, civil war, EMP and nuclear attack. Nuclear attack could be imminent due to the fact that Russia is using the word strategic and tactically in the same sentence. Think about it. Now, Tildor apparently loves me when I use my insights to see reading certain things like tactically and strategically, okay? Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to finish this real quick. And now, I'm going to run to the restroom in severe pain. Give me about a minute. And I will be back. Thank God we got toilet paper. Oh, God. This is not good. apologize wholeheartedly. Said 1 minute. Turns out it was longer than 1 minute. Why was it 1 minute longer? Let's just say the toilet was calling me a lot longer than a minute, alright? And with me having severe IBS symptoms, which could switch from D, which is diarrhea, to C, constipation, and in between a lot of pain, I emptied my. I think what's happening is my body is basically holding a lot of different things. Okay, shall we get to the thing I want to share with you? There's a couple things I want to share with you this morning as a prepper. Okay, again, sorry for the delay. But as I do my shows unscripted, this is where you get a real person. A lot of people say, oh, well, she wasted my time, or she did this, or you know what? Let me tell you about my unscriptedness, my live show that I pay $25 a month for StreamYard to do this, okay? Because YouTube's always giving me hell for the programs of not loading. Okay, here we go. So, let's check on this, all right? So, apparently I got a link open. So apparently, Donald Trump posted on True Social this morning. Seems so real. Former President Donald Trump posted on True Social. He was en route to Manhattan District Attorney's Office, the courthouse, ahead of his arraignment, heading to Lower Manhattan. The courthouse seems so surreal. Wow, they're going to arrest me. Can't believe this is happening in America. Make America great again, MAGA. Yeah. So apparently you got Joe Tacopina representing Trump, Todd Blanche, counsel to Trump, Juan Merchan, the judge, and other appointments. So you got Lanny Davis, Michael Cohen, Stormy Daniels, Alvin Bragg, and Susan Nicholas. So apparently they're talking about, so they're going to take his fingerprints. And so then they for the process, they will process him. Then he will be arraigned in the courtroom. Then he goes back to then the arraignment. Then he leaving the courthouse. Then he goes back to Mar-a-Lago on his private plane to publicly talk about, if not, the judge gives and issues a gag order. Remember, the judge can issue a gag order, but you guys, this is just some interesting news. So, anyways, I've had 4 cups of coffee so far. Hopefully I can hold out a little longer. So let's just talk about this thing, okay? So the world, let me just put it this way, okay? Now, if you're looking at a global map, I'll pull a global map up in a minute. All right, so we want a map of the world, right? We go to Google Images. I'm just going to choose one. Can't we get one that's actually useful? All right, this might be useful. Let me look. I like to share maps of India. India map? I don't care about an India map. Let's look here. Okay, so now with this map, I'm going to share with you. So I'm going to show you, because we as preppers have to prep for everything. Where's my window? Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So basically, here's the world map. I'm going to increase it to 200% or as high as it can, because I have a reason for this. Okay, there we go, just for you guys. So as you see, the United States is here, right? Now they're talking about all these things in the European Union. Okay, now I will show you what I'm thinking. Okay, so for example, they're saying, well, first they're saying we're going to war with Georgia, which is unlikely. So you got Turkey. Okay, here's Turkey. Okay. Russia's trying to build a wall. So Mongolia is on its own, right? You got China right here. Then you got Kazakhstan, you got Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Georgia, the stands, and then Afghanistan, Pakistan. So you got the stand countries, right? That's a buffer between India and the Middle East. Now you're probably saying, well, where am I going with this? Well, think about it. If Russia is here, right, and the former Soviet Empire has completely, Soviet Union, which had a lot more land than this, right? And then lost its power in 1991, right, with the Berlin Wall and stuff like that. And Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan. I don't think China or China or Russia would invade, right? You got this little speck of dirt right over here in North Korea, right? And then you have South Korea. And then you have Taiwan, right? And then you have Japan sitting here watching everything, right? Now, if you look at Sweden, right? Sweden's right here, right? Next to Norway and Finland. Finland was invited into NATO today, right? They're right on the borders. Look, you got Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, all NATO countries. You got Poland, Germany, France, all these countries in Europe, United States, Canada, NATO members. You go down the list all the way around here, right? The only countries they don't have is Belarus and Sweden, right? Now, Russia is afraid of all these little countries, so they're using the words tactically and strategically to say whatever Finland does, right? Thing is have we put in troops in Estonia, Latvia, or Lithuania? No. We put troops in Germany as a contract. Have we put troops in Poland? Possibly. Have we worked with the United Kingdom? Yes. Norway? No. Apparently, there's an all-women's commando team in Norway. See where I'm going with this? Russia does not need to be worried, Russia, however, the point is they're always worried about something. Now, let me show you that thingy I was sharing, okay? Now, another channel I want to share with you, right? This is, let me see if I get it right for the words, right? So we're going to talk about, here we go. So here's the map, okay? I'm just looking at the CNN map, okay? Says here, right? There's Sweden right there. See, Finland was inducted today. You got Sweden, right? You got Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, right? You got Belarus right here. You got Poland. And you got all these countries, except for Ireland, that is part of the, this is all of NATO in Europe. Yeah. Think about it. What do they got left? Georgia, Ukraine, Belarus. If Ukraine becomes a NATO member, that boxes Belarus and Georgia in and Russia in. You see where I'm going with this? I mean, this does not mean much unless they want to control the entire North Atlantic, and then they can. But to me, it doesn't make sense, right? Now, let's go over the comments, because I saw some comments. The arrest of B. Lad is unlawful. You know what? I don't care. You know why? Because I don't believe in any party, okay? Let me tell you my belief. Oh, my Crocs need to be fixed. Because people say I'm not a patriot. I'm more patriotic than you can think. I speak my mind and I don't give a shit. You see, every party is useless in my opinion. Every party is. See, you got the Republican Party praising and talking about guns only. That's fine and dandy. You got the Democrats saying we ain't sending our kids to school because no gun control, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Now, for some of you out there, asking me why I don't care about the president being arrested or indicted or whatever. It's basically a sideshow of a sideshow. I've said this time and time again. But since we're live and people want my opinion, I will give it. My opinion is it's a sideshow of a sideshow. The arrest of Trump is unlawful. Trump arrest unlawful. Yeah, well, you know what? Personally, let him arrest him. You know why? Because apparently there's too many Trumpers out there. No offense to Mama Pee-wee. I love her dearly. They believe the guy's a messiah. You know what? Let me put it this way. I don't care. You know why I don't care? Here's the secret to why I don't care about Donald Trump. Because if Donald Trump is behind bars with 3 federal indictments and a state indictment of New York, and he's still running for president, he can run as president behind closed doors and not living in the White House. I don't care. It'd be a historical moment, you know. And the point is we're here to talk about prepping, okay? This could trigger other issues. Think about it. I'm here to give you the news. I'm also here to tell you to be vigilant, okay? Donald Trump says, oh, I could stop World War III. Really? World War III is not going to be stopped. Not by Donald Trump, not by anyone. You see, if Vladimir Putin decides to go supposedly after NATO and the United States, it's because Vladimir Putin apparently, supposedly, is unhappy that his man's been arrested, okay? Fortunately, Vladimir Putin can put stock into DeSantis, but till we get there, to the election, what's going to be left of this country? Think about it. Now, to me, as Mama Pee-wee knows time and time again, which, by the way, got to tell Mama Pee-wee a story. My shirt went missing, by the way. I think Chloe threw it in a laundry bag and didn't tell me. Trying to show my apartment manager I hate people. But anyways, I don't know where it went after I, but I love my shirt, Mama Pee-wee. So, anywho, I got an appointment today with the thing. I got to make my bed up again. This is going to be interesting to make the bed up today. Anywho, I want to tell you guys a story. Okay? So, the story goes like this. You need to prep because the pieces are being moved in place. Between now and, I say, April 30th, the day Chloe's supposed to leave, we're going to see some serious shit hit the fan. And I think the faster you get your preps in order, the faster you can not worry about it. Think about it. I mean, literally, he's used the word strategically and tactically in the same sentence Russia has. Tells you all you need to know. The black swan is about to think. A lot of people message me and email me and they say, oh, Rita, what's the Dow Jones like today? Dow Jones went 211 points. What did it go down for? Slowing economy weighs on. So, job data, oil loses ground. Wow, look at that. So it goes down 211 points, and it's only 2 p.m. So the close is at 4 p.m. So around 2 p.m., it went down. See, it shed some things. But you know what? I remember seeing it being like 31,900. So it's going to fluctuate. Okay, a lot of people they put their money in the stock market to be financially solvent. Unfortunately, the problem is in today's prepping session is I want to teach you guys a severe lesson that's very important. And that is prepping. And the problem with prepping is what to do, you see, is you got to prep for what will you do though? Nothing. You know why? Because frankly, it doesn't matter. I got enough advocates already basically backing me up. Okay, let me let me reiterate to Mr. and Mrs. K. Solers, okay, the whole damn story. Oh, why is Chloe? It doesn't even ask why Chloe's leaving. It's just like, what will I do without Chloe? It doesn't matter. What matters is what happened, okay? Since someone wants to, I'm going to reiterate this story so everyone's on the same damn page, okay? So Chloe turns around the other day. Turns around the other day, a couple weeks ago. And she goes out, and I tell her, don't do something stupid. She goes out, and what does she do? She does something stupid. Well, you guys sit there and say, oh, well, it's not that a big deal. Well, let me tell you. She goes to the to Advocate 1's office, yells at Advocate 1, screams and yells, leaves and goes to Advocate 2, 3, and 4's office, screams and yells at Advocate 2, 3, and 4, leaves, goes to the hospital, screams and yells, all while calling them fascist, racist, communist bastards. I heard the reports. Trust me, I got it all accurate. And then what happened? Well, you guys could sit there and say, oh, well, she was under duress and everything. Really? Well, let me just tell you what I have. High blood pressure due to Chloe. But then high blood pressure due to Chloe doesn't matter to you guys. You guys are all worried about Chloe. Now, let me tell you the story. I got enough advocates to back me up. Now, Chloe turns around, makes an ass out of herself, throws a fit. And what does she do? We're not done yet, people. This is the juicy part. She goes to the vet, takes Moppy in, because Moppy's got a dog cold. Doesn't even finish all Moppy's meds. Moppy's meds are right here. See? Look at this. 3 meds and 3 meds. This is Moppy's meds. She just forgot to give him half his meds because she's too busy with her game, right? So let's talk about Chloe's mental illness and games, okay? For a second, because she said, uh-oh. So Chloe goes from the vet to the manager's office. Walks in there and says, Rita says, you're not reasserting me. Manager said no. Chloe flipped her lid, called her every name under, called her a wop and a dago. Told her to fuck off and slammed the door. Then, when I saw the manager, I said, so you really aren't reasserting Chloe? Manager said no. She's signing herself off the lease for bad behavior. So what does Chloe do? So I get reasserted. Chloe gets a knock on the door. She doesn't even give her full Chloe name or nothing. She just says, fuck you. Date it yourself. Slams the door. Manager said, if you're not out by April 30th, sheriff's going to be involved. Then it gets juicier, Mr. and Mrs. K. Solers. Then, you know what she does? Manager turns around and says, we have enough complaints of Chloe's temper and loudness. That is disturbing neighbors, right? So I ask just to see him. Can't see him. So what happens? What happens? You're probably sitting there. Chloe finally finds out from the neighbor. Let me tell you about the neighbor, okay? The neighbor, right? I'm not involved in this, but I'm going to give you the gist of it, okay? So the neighbor turns around, right? And she literally has all this evidence. Managers violating rights and evicting people illegally and all this stuff, you know? And then what happened? I'll tell you. She turns around, right? Then she asks me, my neighbor, right? Asks specifically, right, for help, right? I said, oh, yes, I'll gladly help you, right? If you give me the evidence, right? The evidence, right? I'll help. It's Tuesday. She has to have all the evidence stacked up by Friday before anything. And that means if I write a letter or do anything. It has to be in by this Friday, right? As Tildor says, I don't have a dog in this fight. Okay, I'll get to his comment because I have it right here. He says, the fact of the matter is you don't have a dog in the fight. Don't touch the issue with the 10-foot pole. So what did Chloe do? Chloe wrote a letter, signed her name to it, saying the manager basically evicted her illegally. Signed a letter. She doesn't care who she hurts, Chloe. If it means I'm evicted too, oh well, she's taking me down. Signed a letter basically stating to the effect that the manager illegally evicted her and didn't give her any of the comply or vacate notice. It just said we're not renewing your lease, Chloe, because of your bad behavior. Yeah. So Chloe, of course, right? I used to live in places where it was quiet and nice. Chloe, on the other hand. So Chloe asked me to ask the manager if she went to mental help and got medicated, would they take her? Nope, not going to happen. Plain and simple. So the manager goes ahead, right? Remember what I said. I'm telling you about the story also about what happened, right? So Chloe basically is threatened, law enforcement. So that night, Chloe goes home. First Advocate 1's office. This happened like 10 to 14 days later when the manager had me research, right? And it was 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks and 1 day, so 15 days later. That's right. That we got a no trespass order for Chloe for Advocate 1's office for life. So the manager was happy as hell to make a criminal case against it. So, then my advocate turns around, right? And we're talking about issues. Now, the issues we have here is simple, okay? The problem is we have who sent me a message this morning? Okay. Yeah. So anyway, so then the advocate, so this friend of mine who's a neighbor, who literally is fighting the manager, right? Writes on the 23rd. Okay. Let me tell you, I saved some documents for my own records, right? The newspaper says this. San Juan deputy reported respond to reports of threats from a tenant, my neighbor. The emails did not meet the criminal criteria and the incident was documented. Okay, so because my neighbor wants to give me all the evidence of this case against her, because apparently by my neighbor's opinions, I don't have the facts in front of me, the neighbor is stealing, mind you, lying, stealing, cheating, etc., right? One of the neighbors, Chloe's friends. So when Chloe's talking to her about being kicked out, my friend, Trishy, called me and I said, oh, they're friends. She didn't like that idea. But my point is we're getting to the crux of this interesting story. So I go in on research. Manager's already been busy doing the emails, right? Then on the 29th, the manager files a civil protection order. Basically, it's like an anti-harassment, couldn't get anything else, right? It was denied. All right, I looked it up on the court records. It was denied. But it says here, then Trish emails me, asks me why it's going to Superior Court instead of District Court. So I had to explain it. Could be the lawyer, could be, but then Trish has all these other ideas. I am still waiting for my copies of the evidence, okay? Otherwise, you cannot, quote unquote, So basically, there was a delivery of you got to go to court for this. This is Trishy. Well, Chloe turned around and basically said, "Look, I don't have a comply or 10-day vacate notice. I'm being kicked out illegally." What did Chloe do? Writes a letter. She says, "It's my God-given right to write this letter. I'll write every letter I need to and implement it into the court system. I'll break down everything. I'll write another letter. I'll write a third letter. I'll write a fourth letter. I will write anything I need to save my home." This is Chloe. Why? She doesn't care. She wants the manager to fry for illegally breaking the rules. Yeah. And breaking the housing rules. And yet, I got to talk to, another thing. So now I got Chloe, as I now know, Mr. and Mrs. K. Sollers, Chloe basically did herself in by throwing herself out. So you sit there and you say, "Oh, what is Chloe?" And now you know the whole fucking truth. What would you do, Mr. and Mrs. K. Sollers, if you basically turned around and heard the manager say she's not researching someone because your roommate, mind you, turned around and told you to fuck off? What would you do? Would you research her? To me, it was one strike. But the main problem Chloe has is, where's the papers? Chloe could basically turn around and write a better statement. She could basically submit anything she needs. So, I gotta tell you guys, Chloe's going off to town tomorrow. I think it's her Safeway and her tobacco run tomorrow, which is great because Safeway's got a deal on ham. We're going to do a ham for Easter. So, I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from, my friends, okay? I'm not trying to be a dick or a bitch or a cunt or whatever. I'm just here to tell you outright that Chloe did this to herself. And there's so many people that support Chloe that if there's truly so many people on this YouTube channel that supports Chloe, I don't see why you don't basically pull together and do more for Chloe, because Chloe's right now thinking of doing a GoFundMe for a RV or something to live in because she basically kicked herself out. That's the truth of it, Ah, son of a bitch. Told Chloe to clean his, give me a second. So, basically, my opinion is now we just get to wait to see. Oh, damn it. Again, we're this close to fucking throwing these Crocs away. This is why you carry a tool like this at all times. So open up the hole, and then you don't. About to use a fucking hole puncher and punch the damn thing a little bit. Okay. So basically, I was talking to you guys about prepping, right? See, I always keep one of these on hand. These things come in handy. Okay, so a lot of people email me and they say, "Well, why aren't you, worried about Chloe?" Let me put it this way. I told my advocates, I told my friends, I told my friends that there. Told my friends, by email, and my friend Trish, that you gotta basically turn around and make a stand. I mean, think of it. You guys sit there and say, "What are you gonna do with Chloe's gone?" What am I gonna do? Nothing. You see, I got advocates one who could offer me grocery service anytime. I can have advocate 2, 3, and 4 do grocery service. I can have advocate 5 do grocery service. I can run on my treadmill and have the manager get my groceries. The manager offered me to get my groceries. Do you think I really have any worries? No. Let me tell you why. Because frankly, you guys need to prep for the worst. No, I haven't even done my weekly review this week. Okay, I have done, I told you guys I was going to do Sunday. My weekly review is this, okay? I did my weekly review of everything I got accomplished, okay? And a lot of people said that I still got to pay Higgins, which reminds me. Chloe already told me to go ahead and do this, so let's just get it out of the way, right? Let's go by to the electric company and pay the bill. Yes. Takes me like 1 minute. Yes. No, I don't care about my election for that. Just log into the Smart Hub. Okay, so let's talk for a minute, right? So Chloe, of course, is here till the 30th of the month. But you guys sit there and you ask me all the time, well, how come she's not? She's got access to this, okay? But she wants to buy her own phone tomorrow. All right, so let's go to the calculator program. Shouldn't be taking too long. Okay, so 135.14, divide that by 2 is 67.57. Okay, so make payment. So we go pay my bill, 67.57, I think, right? That's what I said. So 67.57. Okay, so continue. Choose the card. Chloe's always pay mine first. Fine. Then we let it process because Chloe's got to pay her half of the bill. That's how it works. Next month's going to probably be the same, but Chloe's going to be using up all the electricity for 28 days. We get a new billing cycle on the 29th. So that means the new cycle hits the 29th, which means whatever bill we have for May 3rd, Chloe said she'll pay half of it too, due to the fact that she used a lot of it through this month. So that just leaves her with more money than the shake a stick to. So, all right. So it says here we still make payments. We go pay the bill, right? Pay bill. Continue. Now my turn. And then there we go. So the electric bill's completely paid off. You see. Well, at least she does that much, and her rent's paid and her electric's paid. She still owes $42.50 for the internet. So, and but will I know if I'm going to stay? I don't know. It all depends on the manager. I mean, Chloe has her own opinion. Chloe and this other neighbor want to make the manager hang. Not hang her literally, but hang her verbally by getting him fired. To me, I don't think it's logistically possible, but the main thing is I'm not going to be fighting because, my point is as a prepper, we need to prep for the worst. Okay, let me just tell you guys how I see it. Okay, for K-Solers. Oh yes, I was about to. Yes. So apparently, it says here President Biden will obviously catch Trump coverage, but it's not his focus, really. That's funny, because LBJ, Nixon, FDR, all of them, they always relied on J. Edgar Hoover, the radio or the TV at the time, No, so apparently it says here was briefed by White House Chief of Staff Jen Zintis on the developments that they reported to the media. Literally, the question is, okay, so it is currently 2:20 p.m. in New York City. So a lot of people have been asking me, I just checked my email, what's going to happen? Well, right now, from what I understand is he's going to be indicted. The DA is going to put him under arrest, right? Then they're going to process him, with Secret Service. It's going to be a detail, so unless the Secret Service doesn't open fire and attacks the New York's finest is going to fingerprint him, process him, take his mugshot if they want, but a lot of people say the mugshot's not needed because he's the most recognized man in the world right now. And then he goes into the courtroom after they fingerprint him and they book him for the 30 plus counts of whatever it is. Now, let me just tell you, from my own opinion, this is not misinformation for YouTube, is once we know what the indictments are, I could probably break it down later for you. And I'm going to basically go out on a limb here. I don't give a shit about the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, but it might all be frivolous bullshit anyways. Because and once New York starts the indictments, Georgia and Washington D.C. Georgia's got a grand jury that could say that he needs to face federal indictment on trying to overturn the elections. Again, it's a bunch of bullshit. But you know what? I'm not a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter or any supporter. You guys know why. The Republican Party can't get their head out of their ass to even fix the debt ceiling right now. They want to basically turn around and cut off all federal funding to agencies trying to criminalize Donald Trump. Okay, now that's good and dandy, but what happens if they don't raise the debt ceiling because of their vendetta? And the elderly and the Social Security people don't get the checks. Think about it. This is bigger than all of us, But at the same time, I'm prepping you for Armageddon. Now afterwards, he goes to the floor where he's going to be. Goes to the courthouse. He will not be handcuffed because he's a former president. So, yes, being a former president has its perks. Then he goes in and he makes a plea deal, guilty or innocent. I say he's innocent to proven guilty. Same with the managers. Same with Trishy. Same with Chloe. Trump is expected to afterwards, where the indictment will be unsealed of 30 to 34 counts. Then the judge will make terms of his bail, whether it be cash bail, which Donald Trump can pay, and he could be basically gag ordered not to post on any internet while the courts are proceeding these 34 indictments, which then he will make a plea and then perhaps unlikely that conditions could be set for his travel. Then, if the judge makes unreasonable things, Donald Trump can appeal it, blah, 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 and yada, yada, yada. Then he leaves the courthouse. Or he gets into his motorcade, heads to the airport, goes back to Mar-a-Lago, and then he talks to everyone in Mar-a-Lago about if they didn't give him a gag order. Remember, right now they're basically saying that he literally has asked for civil unrest because of his civil unrest because of his being arrested. Yes. Now, there's not much to say currently, but you get the idea as a prepper. You need to prep just in case civil war too. This is, I say there's 2% chance of civil war. There's a 1% chance of a banking collapse. Remember, Dow Jones went down. There is yeah, let me just do this. I got to do a quick thing real quick. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Let's choose a design. There. All right, so first gift card's been sent to Higgins. There you go, see? Higgins, of course. I told him I needed a new antenna for my scanners that's bigger than the current dinky rinky dink things, And because he works for me, he's got his first payment of the day. I told him I was going to do it yesterday. I've been delayed because the bills weren't paid. So he's been paid his first gift card today. He'll get some more. Chloe owes him a gift card too, so he'll get his gift card from Chloe soon for sending links for housing, which Chloe has not gotten a hold of anyone for housing yet. Again, it's Chloe's prepping job, not mine. A lot of you have been saying, oh, well, what's going on as a prepper, okay? Why are you not worried about Chloe? I am worried. I'm worried to death of Chloe. I'm worried Chloe's going to be on the streets. I'm worried Chloe might get into drugs and alcohol. I may not be Chloe's mama. I may be Chloe's friend and only Chloe's true friend, even though Chloe's abused so many people. I mean, look, she verbally abused advocates 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 offices, not including the hospital. As a prepper, you got to prep for the worst. This is what prepping is all about, people. And school has not left session yet. I'm going to check and see if we got anything from any other news articles today, because... So, a new article just came out just 2 minutes ago. So, apparently, if there is a July, being jokingly here, Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg has indicated that the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky has been invited to the Alliance Summit taking place in the Lithuanian capital of Vilnius in July. Strong independent Ukraine is vital for the stability of the Euro-Atlantic area, and we look forward to meeting President Zelensky at our Vilnius summit in July, Stoltenberg said. He made the remarks in Brussels on Tuesday following a meeting at NATO-Ukraine Commission, the body responsible for the relationship between Ukraine and its alliances. So, it says here, 10 minutes ago, Ukrainians will be going to the United States soon. And they will be training on the M1A1 Abrams tanks. So the total, the U.S. has trained more than 7,000 Ukrainian troops since the beginning of Russia's invasion. Plan to send 31 M1A1 tanks to Ukraine, the size of a Ukrainian tank battalion. Abrams are too complex and difficult. The Biden administration related under pressure with Germany after Germany sent Leopard 2 tanks, okay? And don't forget England is sending their tanks too. The Challenger 2 tank, sorry. I couldn't remember for a second. So Turkey welcomes new NATO ally Finland, continues to block Sweden until Sweden, So those are the other news that's coming out of the woodworks for you guys. So as preppers, let's go over the comments once again for Tildor. The Black Swan is getting ready to lift off. That means that NATO's getting ready to do something. Not NATO, Russia. Because if you look at the stock market, it's already 2:30 in Eastern time. And because it's 2:30, 90 minutes till the stock market either goes up or goes down. Derivative implosion is on the horizon. When the monster goes down, it will curl your toenails. Toenails meaning nuclear war. Keep your head on a swivel and prep like you have a pair. That means you need to get your water, your canned foods, mostly meats, and your potassium iodide tablets. Now, I did check my news articles the other day. Let me just tell you a story for some of you preppers out there. A lot of you have asked me for a basic preppers list. Community has spoken. There's 4 things. Let me just show you this. Shall I make a bare bone preppers list? Bare bone preppers list means it's gonna have like water, food, and potassium iodide tablets. So that's all you're gonna need to survive is water, and maybe some water purification tablets, which you can purify your water in your bathtub as long as your water is not contaminated. Now, when I asked. So far, I got 2 votes. Okay, 2 votes. It says, what do you think the black swan event is? Worldwide banking failures that will happen after nuclear war. 2, I said nuclear war attack, nuclear winter. 3, civil war, which is highly unlikely. And 4, an EMP attack. Yeah. So we now just got an update from the Trump news. Let's just go and see what this is this morning. Trump's arraignment is now underway, so they're now going to unseal the indictments. He's going to plead not guilty to any of the charges, which is he's innocent until proven guilty. Details about more than 30 charges he is facing, or 34 charges, will be revealed when the grand jury indictment is unsealed. The indictment stems from an investigation related to hush money payment made. Hold on. The film actress Stormy Daniels during 2000 presidential campaign. Now, you got to remember what they're doing is they're trying to basically say that like 2 weeks before the election, Donald Trump had Michael Cohen, his main fixer man, supposedly, I don't buy it, pay off Stormy Daniels so he could win the White House. Because this would have changed the tides. And gave it to Hillary, so... Again, they're saying this was election interference, blah, blah, blah. Personally, to me, there's a lot of people out there that pay off other people. News outlets will not be able to broadcast the arraignment live, a judge said Monday, rejecting requests from several media organizations, including CNN. 5 still photographers, however, will be allowed to take pictures of Trump in the courtroom and then send off their photos to basically be published in every news agency and world agency in the world for thing. This is why we got to prep for tomorrow's newspapers. It'll be in every newspaper. But why do we have newspapers when we have the internet and live coverage? Now, let me continue. So he says, keep your, curl toenails. And he says, the fact of the matter, you don't have a dog in the fight, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. So there you go. What's that tell you? So, thing is, everyone so far has voted nuclear war attack winter. No, there's a lot of preppers out there that are saying that we need to prep for nuclear war. That's true. I'm going to think about it. Now, let me tell you about a couple things about prepping, okay? You got the Democrats and you got the Republicans. The Republicans think they can avoid nuclear war. Democrats, in my opinion, this is not misinformation, this is just my humble opinion, don't want it. They want nuclear war. They want it so that they can, the governments can be shut down and they have a communist country. Well, think about it. Does communism work? Not likely, but the true question is in the Democrats' head is the Democrats have been fed so much bullshit over the years. So let me just put it to you this way. You go back through history from 1945 to now, okay? When FDR died, Truman took over. He took over for FDR and he served the terms he needed to. Could have served another term, but he said 8 years in the White House was long enough for Truman. Ike came in for 8 years. with Vice President Nixon. Now, let's just put it to you this way. In 1945 to like 1953, I think it is, or something, Russia was trying to build the atomic bombs themselves. They did. Later in life, China got involved. But by then, you have Israel, France, England, India, Pakistan, all with nukes. Most of them, over the course, since they've acquired nukes, and part of the nuclear proliferation has kept their head on a swivel and hasn't invoked the nuclear attacks. Now, for some of you out there, that's a good thing. So let me see here. Higgins emailed me. So Higgins emailed me. Thanks for his payment. We're still working on stuff, but I will have to call Higgins on a serious problem tonight. So it says here, Higgins got his gift card. He said, "Thank you so much for my payment. I'm heading out to the post office, quote unquote, to pay my taxes." That's what Higgins, his property taxes and his thing. So some of you preppers out there have asked me, there is no civil war. That's like 1% chance, okay? Banking collapse is 2%. That's 3%. An EMP is 1%. That's 4%. There's a 96% chance nuclear attack. 96%. If you take it from my opinion. A lot of Democrats that are raised as a Democrat in this country who accepts handouts, freeloading, mooching, etc., has said, quote unquote, that, as long as the Democrats are in power, they will try to restrain war. But just today, they just offered $2.7 billion package again for Ukraine. You, the taxpayers, got to pay for it. I have to pay for it in sales tax. You got to pay for it, sales tax, income tax, property tax, all this money. Governments, the point is the American people need to realize that we are suffering to no end. And we are suffering big. We're suffering more than big. Why are we suffering? Because the American people need to realize, well, this is big news. I mean, you got Ukrainian war and you got Donald Trump being indicted. Or actually, he was arrested. Yes. So now he's got a criminal record. The criminal record will only be sustain the Trump name if, quote unquote, he is arrested. Now, my question to you all is this whole Donald Trump thing is, they said 59% of Americans support it. I'd like to ask you, the preppers, do you support Donald Trump being indicted? Do you truly support Donald Trump being arrested? I don't. I don't give a shit one way or another. To me, the justice system doesn't work. They'll let the rich out and they'll penalize everyone else. The justice system doesn't work, and the laws of this country don't work either. I'll tell you why. It goes like this. When you got a woman like my neighbor Trishy, who's fighting for her home, fighting for other people's homes, fighting to get rid of a criminal, supposedly, allegedly, Lacey is innocent until proven guilty by a bunch of peers. Now, if Lacey doesn't get a jury of her peers on this island, but gets you see, to me, if they told me I had to serve jury duty for Lacey, I could get out of it by just saying, look, she's my neighbor. I don't know all the facts, and as a neighbor, it would be biased to me to be in on the jury duty. You see, The American people need to realize that jury duty is different, right? You got to prep for all occasions, okay? Right now, you got to prep for nuclear war. Like I think he posted a picture of Forrest Gump going, hello. Yeah. Anyways, love Forrest Gump. But the point being is the American people need to realize that we're sitting on a tinderbox, okay? Is Finland worried about Russia? No. It's a political stance. They basically joined NATO just to make a statement. Russia knows this too. Now, if Sweden gets in Ukraine, it's going to really turn the tides. But right now, Russia claims, we got to put nuclear missiles into Belarus. That's because Belarus is a puppet state for Russia. I bet if we could convince Belarus to give up Russia's side and make them a NATO member, Belarus wouldn't do it because they're in the back pocket of Putin. But then Putin makes a deal with China, North Korea, and Iran. This is where we're getting to the point where, if any NATO members like Iran attacked NATO and Russia stayed out of it, we'd go after we would go after Iran. But remember, tactically, we won't go after any country like Russia unless Russia or its allies attack NATO. Now, China's not stupid to go after NATO. North Korea ain't stupid. Now, if North Korea decided to attack the United States straight on, NATO wouldn't go into North Korea because NATO countries are only protecting, apparently, NATO, which means, now if North Korea attacked England, yeah, all of NATO would go after North Korea. But thing is, an attack on one would be attack on all. Article 5. Everyone knows that. Even Tildor knows this. But question is will it happen? A lot of Democrats are saying no, it's not going to happen due to the fact that the American people believe that the United States can contain it. Let me tell you how we're not containing it, okay? We got nuclear weapons. We keep it maintained. Submarines, carriers, frigates, destroyers, minesweepers, supply ships, everything, right? Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force. Army. And yet, in our deals with China and Russia and everything, we had to give up the locations of our missile silos. So it's Russia. We know where they are. They know where ours are. So it's a tit for tat. Is Russia rattling the saber? The Democrats believe they are. They don't believe Russia would just sit there and strategically attack a NATO nation, because if they did, Russia knows they'd be wiped out. I think Vladimir Putin knows that. Point being is, pop is still going. Cool. All right, here we go. So the bottom line is you need to prep. Will this happen this month? Could be. A lot of Democrats think that they can go home every night under the guise that NATO and the U.S. will protect them. You guys need to prep, because what if, hypothetically, Russia's missiles can cause a 1,500-foot tsunami nuclear attack? Some new smart missiles, supposedly. Would it happen? No one knows. But if it did, we'd all be screwed. England would be destroyed. Will they do it? No one knows. You got to ask yourself, are you going to take a chance for your family? I've talked to Trishy and others that claim that the nuclear, they'd rather be annihilated and die than to prep. Thing is, a lot of Democrats have said this. There is going to be war. Let them die and go to heaven. So apparently, the latest update in the news of Donald Trump's indictment and arrest is glass doors that Trump emerged from are covered in, they're keeping it covered in darkness, apparently. So apparently they, whatever, right? So, also apparently MTG's in New York. The mayor said to be on her best behavior. And if anyone tries to Congress or the Senate who's Republican, who this is what I read, who incite invoking civil unrest or an insurrection will be met with apparently charges, supposedly. Thing is if people are going to do it. So far, you just need to have peaceful protests. Don't be armed. Do peaceful protests. Because Donald Trump will get his day in court. So some of them might be thrown out in the indictment, some might not. The question is, what's going to happen? A lot of people have asked me, will he go to jail? He can still run for presidency in jail. A lot of people are basically saying these things, but as a prepper, you need to prep for all situations. Yeah. Let me tell you a story about prepping, okay? As I said earlier, I love all of you. And you all are sitting there, right? You preppers out there. A lot of Democrats, they want to die. They want to die. They want to literally die in case of a nuclear explosion. They want to be vaporized. They want to die because they don't want to die. They don't want to prep. They don't want to, It would be like the movie Mad Max, okay? If you haven't seen Mad Max, go watch it, okay? The Preppers out there, which reminds me, I think it's on HBO Max currently. Let me go look. Because, that is like a lawless country after, I think it's Mad Max. So Mad Max, right? Then there's Mad Max 2. Then there's Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome. And then there's Mad Max Road Warriors. So I'm going to check and see what Mad Max, how many there is. There's Mad Max Exposed, Mad Max Black Chrome, Mad Max Beyond the Wasteland, Mad Max. Yeah, so I think I opened them all up. Okay, so currently it's a rental. It says fortified in a massive armored truck, loner Mad Max Tom Hardy joins Imperator Furiosa Charlize Theron, there's a remake, and her band of rebels as they outrun a warlord, Hugh K's Byrne, and his henchmen in a deadly high-speed chase through the wastelands. Okay, Road Fury. Mad Max 2 is loner lawman Mel Gibson fights barbarian bikers for gasoline in the wastelands of the future. It's on HBO Max. Okay. Mad Max, the original one, in Australia, not so distant future, a police officer strikes back against a motorized menace to what's left of society after a nuclear holocaust. On Roku, it's on Tubi, MGM, and Pluto, Paramount, Prime Video, Epix. I have Epix, so we're good. I have MGM Plus too, so I have Paramount. So Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, Tina Turner, Mel Gibson camels, if you will fight the giant blaster in a barbaric caged arena. Yeah, that's on Prime and So Mad Max 2 again, the Road Warriors. That's on HBO. Mad Max Exposed. Rare behind the scenes is on Tubi. Mad Max Fury Road. Yeah, this is again the uh, Charlize Theron edition, and then the Mad Max documentary. So, Mad Max 1 apparently is a 1979 movie, which is free on um, Tubi, Pluto, MGM Plus, Paramount, Prime Video, Epics, so forth, so on. So, to me, I highly recommend you watch those movies just so you can understand, that this crap could happen, and this is worse, than most people. So, what is going on here? Got an email from. So, this one here is saying you need $5 a month to post comments. Yeah, well, you know what? It's fine and dandy, in my opinion. So, there you go. So, anyways, a lot of you preppers out there, like I said, need to realize that you guys got to watch Mad Max. You can watch other movies. Watch Red Dawn, reboot Red Dawn. I think that's available too. You got to watch anything you can about bunkers, nuclear preparation, etc. This will get you motivated because it's going to get worse. All right. You got a guy who's basically being indicted saying, I could stop nuclear war. But the thing is he's saying that, President Biden's going to bring us down to nuclear war. Possibly. Truth is, we don't know. All right. The truth is, I can't give you information I don't have. But I can tell you that you guys need to do your own research. And when you do your research, you got to ask yourself, is the president of the United States pushing for NATO to ratify Finland fast, which they did, to basically protect Finland from supposedly being invaded by Russia, supposedly? But Russia, of course, is only worried that NATO troops will be along. Huh? Right. Excuse me, I got two things to do. I'll be right back. One is I got to use the toilet when Chloe gets off of it. And I'm going to check my calendar real quick for Chloe. I got to check the calendar in my office. Okay. Oh, try to squeeze that out. Okay, cool. For the services you rendered. I need money for my move, too. Well, you guaranteed it. You guaranteed how. I'll give it, but I also need to start saving up for my move. I have to be gone by the end of this month. I gotta use the toilet, but. That's what I'm talking about. YouTube this morning, boys. You were paying attention. Oh, and while I'm covering the nuclear thingies and discussing prepping, I'm also covering. They're about to unseal this indictment, which, in your opinion, is good news. Me, I don't really give a shit.
In cities, that means we lose one of our Democratic voters.
We lose every, not Democrat.
Like Republicans too?
Yes. They're going to do all 50 states. They're going to hit military installations first. Major cities second in every city. And if there's every all the capitals, that's their target set.
And people, all people, they are afraid of war, which I leave the country.
The only way you can be safe is if you're going south past Mexico into.
You say Canada's not safe?
Canada's not safe.
Every one of the provinces they're attacking.
Everything they would take. The only thing in South Mexico south would be.
I bet you Americans and Canadians be fleeing down to Mexico. Mexican government would probably be trying to stop it from happening.
Yes.
Because they don't want all these people coming into their country.
Well, also.
You realize Mexican government would close off their borders.
A lot of people also flee to New Zealand and Australia too.
Yeah.
They go to the southern hemisphere.
I just found out you can't even drive to South America from here because there isn't a road connecting Panama.
Actually, there is. A guy in a land camper has done it 50 times.
Yeah, it's called last road.
Yeah, well, he did it.
And you realize how dangerous it is?
They've been testing border all the way down south. A lot of people like seeing it. It's basically a football team. Are you taking a bath?
I might just take a shower if anything, but South America is going to be one of the safest places to be.
That's what my friend. Remember, I told you about my Russian friend who's a professor?
Yeah.
Helena?
Yeah.
H said that all of the northern, anything past the equator, north of the equator, is going to be wiped out.
I don't know which would be better to live in, Argentina or Chile.
I would probably prefer Chile myself.
Yeah, go to Santiago.
Yes. However, if I had my way, I'd go from Chile to the frickin' South Pole myself, but that's just me. Okay. We got new updates coming in now. Let's look. A new update. Sorry about that. Like I said, I gave you guys a warning. That was your time to refresh your coffee. So apparently Donald Trump sitting. Okay, it says news outlets will not be allowed. So basically that's it. So it is almost 3 p.m. and the stock market has got 1 hour and 3 minutes until it closes. So currently it went down 267 points so far, 0.79% due to the fact of oil inflation prices. Now let me just tell you a story about another prepper tool, okay? Brother Higgins emailed me last night saying to top up his car and to fill his 5-gallon gas cans, which to me is pretty useless because you got to think about, everything else. A lot of preppers out there think prepping is fine. Higgins was telling me, I eat 2 better cheddars a day. Yeah, but you have to eat 3 meals a day, okay? I only eat 1, okay? Actually, I ate 2 last night. I actually ate 6 better cheddars, trying to basically not conserve, but that's because I haven't been eating much in the last few days. And then I was craving, of course, Zoe's going to be happy about it, a dinner salad. So instead of having 1 bowl of dinner salad, I had 3 bowls of dinner salad. And what's left of my dinner salad is this. You see, this is what's left of my dinner salad. Croutons, onions, lettuce, tomatoes, or not tomatoes, onions, croutons, and all sorts of colored, whatchamacallit. Yeah, which means I'm happy to report that as a prepper, I'm happy to report, which I told Chloe, take the phone today. She needs to call the me because she's got to pick up a few things at the store. As a prepper, you're going to need to spend very little money as less as possible. Here's how I would do it. I would order water, food, potassium iodide tablets, and wait a month. If there's no attacks in 1 month, I would buy more potassium iodide tablets, water, and food. Or if you have a weekly schedule, place it weekly just in case. Keep on prepping because it's going to get worse. Also, I would invest currently in a basic police scanner. Okay. If you're in a conventional area, you can get conventional. Now, if you can't, you're going to have to figure out your situation on what to do with emergencies, and etc. The scanner will help you out, listen for news and etc. around the country. Oh, we got 2 more updates coming in from the Trump indictment. So today's Coffee with Rita. So it says Justin, Donald Trump pleads not guilty to 34 counts. Yes, innocent until proven guilty. Pleaded not guilty to 34 counts in a Manhattan court. Charges stem from an investigation of hush money. Yeah. Trump did not speak as advisors expected before entering the courtroom. Let's see. It says, before entering the courtroom, former President Trump did not make a statement. Some advisors expect him to do so. We have been under the impression he may make a brief statement before going in, and I think the fact he didn't is notable. Former Trump White House Communications Director Alyssa Farr Griffin told CNN, that indicates to me, depending on what he saw in the indictment, goes further than expected to. Wow, I'd like to know what is in these 34 indictments. Griffin said the lack of a statement could also significant. The attorneys are likely at odds with the comms advisors. Advisors told CNN earlier Tuesday the former president planned to deliver one brief line before heading inside the courtroom. He is expected to speak to the cameras in the hallway outside of the Manhattan courtroom after his arraignment, according to one of Trump's lawyers. Details about the more than 30 charges Trump is facing will be revealed when the grand jury indictment is unsealed. So, Donald Trump sitting there. It's 3:01 Eastern Standard Time. So it's lunchtime here, 12:01. What are we getting here? We're getting to prep because we don't know if Civil War could happen. Remember, Civil War is like 1%. An EMP is 2%. Now, banking collapse is like 3%. So that's 4%. 5%. And there's 95 to 96% chance of a nuclear attack on America, hypothetically. So, has the black swan flown yet? Not yet. It just depends on what Russia's going to do. Yes. So, this is big news for you guys, everyone. While we're waiting for some more Trump news, let's talk about what I'm worried about you the most. All right. Now, I told Chloe, more likely we could see between now and Easter some more heightened security measures for Russia and NATO. It just depends. Now, if they don't do anything, NATO isn't worried because it could be saber rattling. This is what a lot of Democrats are saying. It's saber rattling. But with 57 minutes to go today in the stock market, as everyone knows, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. Am I going to be leaving you guys? Yes, around 1:50 my time or 4:50 Eastern Standard Time. I will be leaving. So I got 1 hour and 47 minutes still with you guys. Why? Because we're having a good time today talking about what's very important to you, the preppers. Yeah. And that is, another update just came in from the Donald Trump on news. Okay, so it's been unsealed. Let me see. Coffee time with Rita, prepping Black Swan. Hold on. And more. All right. Prepping in the Black Swan and all your Trump news here. So I'm actually editing it There we go. So if anyone wants to search for it, you guys get live coverage. Okay, so apparently a guy, a representative in Eastern Washington, a congressman I know personally, said an energy efficient standards for gas cooking products. Now, if you know, Brother Higgins has a gas cooker, you know. Unaware of this blatant backdoor attempt to the gas appliances, at least half of the gas stoves models are old in the United States. They would not comply with the regulations of the DOE, the Department of Energy. So, Secretary expressing deep concerns about the newly proposed anti-gas appliance rule. I'm still waiting for a response. Okay, and meaning 90% of the gas would fail. Yeah, but the problem is as long as the gas stove's working, why should we replace the damn thing? I mean, literally. I mean, it'd be like saying you can't basically, it'd be saying 96% of the gas furnaces would fail. I mean, my father-in-law has a gas furnace. It's one of the few things in his house that's actually natural gas. Everything else is electric, you know. My grandmother used to use an oil stove, if you didn't know. Her furnace was oil powered and apparently used bunker fuel, which is, reduced their greenhouse emissions by 69% since 1991, and they reduced their carbon emission 1.2 every year. Natural gas is dependable, really. Surprised they haven't made a natural gas powered car. These regulations add to nearly $6,000 average cost of new construction, burdening families and small business owners already struggling with high energy. Energy to be a lot of restaurants in the world use natural gas. By the way, that's like Denny's and so forth. So let's see. Let's go here. So it says here the indictment returned last week by grand jury against former President Trump has been unsealed. Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 criminal charges against him in the Manhattan criminal court afternoon. Source familiar with the CNN. The investigation stemmed from hush money payment made to adult film actress Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign. Trump officially became the first former president to face criminal charges Tuesday when it rained Tuesday. Well, maybe, but my opinion is hush money is hush money, okay? It doesn't matter if you pay off someone as long as the lady. I mean, paying off someone because you committed adultery, then that's between you and the Lord. It's not a federal thingy unless they're saying it's basically changed the outcome of the election, which I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the election. But then again, no one knows. Oh, another email came in. See, I'm just getting bombarded with emails today too. Preppers emailing saying you're live, we're watching you, you're great, you're awesome, you're a real person. Okay. So, what does this mean for the American people? Well, the American people need to realize that everything happens for a reason. Yeah. So, the black swan is getting ready to take off. So, again, this is why we're prepping people. We don't know. Tildor, a lot of people have emailed me, okay? They do like my videos. They comment. Emails flood through me, and they always tell me, well, this Tildor guy must be full of crap because, he's not telling us what the black swan is. Well, I've already explained it. It's not a banking collapse, okay? If you look at the analyzation, and by the way, school is still in session. If you look at the analyzation of the black swan event, it ain't a banking collapse, okay? It is not a banking collapse, okay? Banking collapse is due to happen, okay? The only way to get a banking collapse to reset the entire world's currencies is by nuclear attack, okay? And everyone knows when a nuclear attack happens, that just doesn't wipe out your television services. That wipes out because of the radiation, unless you're way, way out in the middle of the boondocks. That wipes out your television. That wipes out your television service, which a lot of people are streaming, they're cord cutting. That wipes out your streaming service. You won't have internet. Our internet cables are underwater. I'm on an island, all right. Our electrical grid's underwater. So if the mainland got attacked, we wouldn't have electricity, okay? We would be out. You guys, this is why I keep telling you to buy potassium iodide tablets, food, water, and journals. You might want a journal. Get a few decks of playing cards. Now, Chloe, of course, just threw a fit a minute ago about not wanting to pay Higgins. Problem is, Higgins did the job for her, so she's got to pay. Unfortunately, the thing is, Chloe's worried, okay? Chloe doesn't think there's going to be a nuclear strike happening by April 30th, and she'll be homeless. And she's afraid now that she's going to die if she's stuck in Seattle, Portland, California. Those are, a lot of people say to me, well, where is the targets? Okay, I'll give you the targets. First is the military bases. Now, I got my scanner set to scanner modes of Naval Kitsap and Naval Woodby Island. I hear everything, okay? I also hear things from Naval Bremerton, that's part of Kitsap, Naval Everett, blah, 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 go down the list, right? Then, you got military bases first. Then you got major cities second. Then you got capitals third. That would mean the whole northern hemisphere north of the equator would basically be wiped completely and thoroughly out with radiations. Yeah. So when you as a prepper need to prep, okay, now as I was trying to tell you guys, okay, now let me tell you a story, okay? There's people out there, okay? They believe in the Democrats, all right? They believe that the government will keep giving them food and water and clothing and anything else during a nuclear war. Hey, Marcus. And because of it, good to see you. I saw your comment the other day. What were you saying? You said something about it has been over a month. I hope you are okay. What do you mean a month? Well, you don't make sense, Marcus. Why don't you fill us in the comments what you're talking about? Okay, well, and I'm going to finish what I'm going to say while you post that comment. So you preppers out there need to prep. As a real person, you got to realize that I'm worried about you all, okay? I know people out there going on their everyday lives, okay, thinking the Democrats will take care of them, thinking the Democrats will take care of them. But deep down, will the Democrats take care of them? And the truth is, the Democrats aren't going to take care of them. No. Because if there's a nuclear attack, there's not going to be, the Democrats are going to see they've been left behind. Republicans, the same thing, but the preppers, they're prepping. Fortunately, there's Democrat preppers and Republican preppers. The problem is we all see differently. I see both parties as useless because they can't raise the debt ceiling. And yet, they say between May and September, there's no money. But we just gave another $2.7 billion to Ukraine without approval. They just said, what is it? They emptied more of our armory out again? I mean, literally. To me, the United States, we have so many, things going on. It ain't funny, okay? Now, a lot of you people have emailed me saying, a basic list is fine. Since I'm going to be here, I might as well start prepping for the basic preppers list, the stuff that I would buy, okay? I'm just checking on other things. Now, a lot of you guys have emailed me, and you've asked me a few questions, about my favorite things in life, okay? You're like, what is your favorite things in life, Rita? Let me tell you what my favorite things in life is. I miss the good old days. I miss the good old days when everyone could use conventional police scanner to get their news. Yeah. I miss the good old days. When we as in people would wake up in the morning and go to school. You know, you guys sit there and say, oh, you're talking about going to school. I'm not done. And as I was going to school, I'd have a shower. I'd get up. I'd jump in the shower after having my breakfast. Sometimes it was just a quick cup of coffee. Yes, I drank coffee as a kid. Okay. I'd jump up. I'd go out. I would sit there. The bus driver always wanted me to be behind her. So I would be like, fine, I'll be behind you, but on one condition. She would turn around and she would, no, there was Janet, there was Mary, there was other drivers. They were all nice to me. One driver was kind of mean. And my father and my stepdad was outside one day, and my stepdad looked at the bus driver, called up the bus depot. My stepdad, Roy, was not a guy you messed with. When he thought something was unjust, he took care of it. He says, your bus drivers attacked my child. I was adopted by him. My child. For using headphones, staying quiet on the bus, staying quiet, by the way, and using her pocket TV, which I loved. And the bus driver was angry because I had a pocket TV and I was staying quiet. What was I doing with the antenna out? Watching the news, keeping an eye on everything going on. And yet, you have people out there turning around that turned around, and I was using the pocket TV. Now, a lot of you guys turn around and you always say to me, Rita, do you miss the pocket TV? I do, because think of it. The government did not want you, the people, to have access to communications during a nuclear attack. So they came up with some shitball story that you needed to go analog to digital. The truth is they wanted, in my opinion, to control and know what you're watching, what you're doing at all fucking times. Think about it. Now they want to basically make it so all scanners are encrypted. What happens to Uniden? What happens to Radio Shack? What happens to Whistler? They all go down the toilet, or GRE. They used to make the, Higgins made a joke the other day. We're talking about new scanners, right? And Higgins says to me, what if the radio, they're selling a scanner, and yet it's only a box? And, that's why when you look at something, you see something that says new, you look at it, you analyze it, you say, I have to have Higgins do some research on this scanner, but we already talked the battery's shot, so it's more likely useless. But that's why I like scanners that have non-rechargeable batteries, because you don't need to worry about your rechargeable batteries, or charging it up, Currently, it is the way it is, So a lot of people out there, they email me and they say, well, what's the difference between, this one and this one? Well, you can buy a triple trunking scanner on eBay new for $250, or you can buy a better model that has 9,000 channels saved for $169. So without taxing them, but you still got to pay tax through, and a lot of these people think they can get away with it. But, a lot of people sit there and they sell the older model Radio Shack Pro 649, and it turns out you can buy a Whistler for $80. So what you're buying is nostalgia. It's the same radio. Higgins and I were talking about that the other day. But point is you got to look at what's going on in the world. Let's see. Do I actually have it saved where it shows what I'm looking at? Oh, yeah, it does. It says most recently viewed items. Good. I can actually do it that way because I like doing that without going through each page. So, but anyways, there's no more news right now on this. Excuse me 1 second. Got a tinkle. Okay, Pete, I'm back. So, anyways, the point being is the American people, and what I wanted to say, the most important thing to you all right now. Oh, we got some more news on Ukraine and Russia. Cool. Let's see what this is. See, I'm actually maintaining it while we see. So it just says lawyers get access to the Wall Street Journal reporter. So basically, the editor-in-chief, Emma Tucker, and Almar Latour, CEO of Dow Jones, published the journal, said that Gershkovich was doing what journalists do, ask questions, providing an eyewitness account in the region to help keep the world well-informed, and yada, yada, yada. So Russia got mad and locked him up. Okay, so again, everyone's sitting there waiting for updated news on the Trump indictment. So we'll see what happens. So, shall we continue with your school session today, everyone? Because he's got to have his cage cleaned today. So, anyways, as Mama Fanny would say, bless her heart. So, as a prepper, I want to say something that's very important. Let's just get the basic preppers list made. I can do that within 5 minutes. So, what I do is I go over here and it says create a list. And we're going to call this list, create a list. We're calling it Bare Bone Preppers List because you guys have added it. Okay, so the Bare Bone Preppers List. Now, we're going to do this. I'm going to throw in items that I think would justify as prepping. You guys there. Oh, and while I'm at it, guys, I will be literally looking at items and dates. Now, a lot of you have emailed me saying, what's with the Amazon dates? You've emailed me, you're like, what's with the Amazon date? Okay, so this one here says we'll deliver it April 7th. So let's just add this to the Bare Bone Preppers list. When it's done, I will give you. Oh, hold on a sec. I want to go to this. I want to edit this. I can actually edit, say manage list. We're going to call it the 2023. So you guys I can find it easier during my prepping. Okay. So then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and refresh every one of these pages because of this. And we are going to add these items to the Bare Bone Preppers list. I'll give it to you guys when I'm done. Now, I'm only giving you what I would buy currently, okay? Nothing out of the ordinary. I'm not going to sit there and say, go buy a can opener, go buy this, go buy that. No. So, there we go. And since it's set to private, I will reset it to public for you all in a moment. So, once I get the canned meat added, I will add the water. Remember, it's just basic. You can choose whatever water you want, but the bare bone preppers list is what you need. Now, a lot of people sit there and say, well, how come this is just basic? Okay. This is, and I will update this to the About Me page too, so you guys can view it on your own time. I know Higgins, waited a month or so to make this due to the fact that it needed to be done. So, all right. So, anyways, we're almost done with meats. Then we got water. Remember, I'm saying food. I'm doing canned meats that will last a long time. Remember, you're here to prepare and prep. Okay. All right, so then we go to the next part of our prepping list, which is what the hell? Oh, that's why. Don't you just hate when you try to search something and won't search properly? Okay, there we go. A lot of you guys have asked me about other things. I can add more, but this is something I just want to add to the preppers list. Now, a lot of you guys say, well, what about ramen? Ramen takes water. And if you are conserving water, you're going to have to use the basic bare bones. Now, I know Kildor is probably going to go through the About Me page or go through the comments when I finish the list for you guys. But the point is you guys got to prep. There. All right. So, next up, water. So, water is something that will be, used for prepping. Now, I'm just throwing in like everything I could think of for water. Okay, I'm just throwing in like water suggestions because everyone needs food and water. That's the second thing. We will talk about the third thing you'll need next. Okay, the bare bones is the bare bones. All right. And if you have pets, make sure to get your pet food too. I will add pet food later. I just ordered another 2 14-pound bags of doggy food for Moppy recently. So placed my orders last night. But I'm being frugal because we don't know what's going to happen with the future. Now, a lot of you, I want to tell you guys a story, okay? The other day, someone was talking about, well, Social Security is my money. I'm entitled to my money. Well, you may be entitled to it, but the government might tell you to fuck off when it comes to nuclear war. You ain't going to see a dime. So, what's going to happen? You're on your own. Okay, cool. Here we go. I chose basic water that I prefer. You can choose any brand you want. I think I choose Fuji water, but you could choose the low price bottled water, which is I think I saw the cheapest water cases was Crystal Geyser, but they're all sold out. So you gotta Google whatever it is or Amazon. I'm not representative of Amazon, but I'm making the preppers list for you all. Now, if the store is selling a decent deal of water, then there's Ice Mountain, but you don't want flavored water unless it's the last resort. Pure Life 8-ounce bottles. You don't want 8 ounces. 8 ounces, you'd have to drink 8 bottles of that. So technically, when you look at your water, you're going to have to look at, here we go, This is kind of expensive, but you can probably get a deal at your local Walmart or Safeway. Chloe's going to Walmart soon. I think she's going Thursday and Friday, 2 days. So we'll be getting water and other supplies. And that's something you need to look at for your preps. If you get it cheaper at Walmart, get it at Walmart. Okay, so next up on your list is iodine tablets. Yeah, for radiation. Now you can get a 280 pack. I'm just going to throw in some. You can get a 700 pack. You can get a 300 pack. You want adults need 130 milligrams per day. Then you go from there. And this is for your radiation. So as a prepper, you can have 280 tablets. That'll last you 280 days for 2 bottles. Just think about it. Now, remember what I said in previous videos. School is still in session, that the preppers out there, the more tablets, the better. But nuclear war has a half-life or a shelf life after war, 35 years half-life. So half-life of 70 years would be 35 years. So that's what they're saying for radiation. So anyways, it depends on what you guys want to do. So bare bone, I'm giving you the bare bones. So, and then after that, I will give you the links, because, food, the thing that you need to worry about most is your canned protein. You need stuff that's sealed in a can that you can eat right out of the can in case of a disaster. That's why I chose what I chose. Now, a lot of people sit there and they bought like mac and cheese, they bought other items. And to me, it is what it is. Okay. Now, I would go with a bare bone scanner, but I will have to put that in for later in a whatchamacallit, in a poll. But right now we're not talking about polls. All right, so the list is done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go to manage list. Then we're gonna go to public. And please right click on the items and add it to your cart. Adding it to the cart is all right. So now what I got to do is this. I need to send list to others. I'm doing this. View only, copy link. Then I'm going to go over here. Okay. And I'm going to post this list to you guys right there. Now I'm going to go into my thing and I'm going to read the news. All right. So current news for Ukraine is lawyers get, you see Ukraine's ahead, China visited. So apparently European Commission Ursula von der Leyen said she held a telephone conference with President Zelensky ahead of her visit to China Wednesday. Ukraine will be an important topic of her meetings with the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Ain't gonna work. How China continue to act with Russia in Putin's war will determine the factor of the EU-China relations going forward. Really. Another update is Trump leaves Manhattan. Former Donald Trump has left Manhattan courtroom after his arraignment. He made no statement while leaving the courtroom. After leaving the courtroom, Trump left the building, got in his motorcade. Former president pled guilty to 34 counts. Isn't this interesting? How the mainstream media turns around, no offense to anyone here, Give me 1 second. I got to actually go to, actually, I think it's customize my channel. I think that's where it is. Yeah. And then I want basic info. I think it is, right? Let's go down here to add a link. Enter title. Bare bone preppers list. Link and go publish. There we go. So now what we do is we go over to my About Me page, go down the list, and you have the bare bone preppers list right there for you all. So it's all done. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. I got to go use the toilet. Let me just give you this for some of you preppers out there that's still tuned in. There's the bare bone preppers list. Okay, peeps. So here we go. So, anyways, as a prepper, you gotta, hey, Mop, how you doing, Bub? As a prepper, you gotta ask yourself, what's gonna happen for the future, right? Well, the bare bone list has been made. It's in the About Me page. So, I should post in my About Me page, our community, leave a comment. And then publish. There we go. So it says new bare bones preppers list. Yeah. So this literally helps you with basic stuff. All right. Now I would recommend a deck of cards. I'd recommend other issues, but the main thing is I would literally recommend everything. So for you preppers out there, you got to basically ask yourself what's going on. And there you go. Preppers list has been made. So isn't this interesting, my fellow preppers and video watchers? One person comes in, B-Lad, says the arrest of Trump is unlawful. Yeah, I agree, but you know what? Nothing I can do about it. Then you got K. Saulers, Mr. and Mrs. K. Saulers. What are you going to do without Chloe? I already explained it. They're all worried about Chloe. If you're that worried about Chloe, why don't you go and defend Chloe and protect Chloe? Because frankly, there's nothing we can do as, The question I have for all of you out there is what is the 34 counts of indictment? So Higgins emails me and says, I heard a 2309 on the unit in FRS radio on the way back from the post office, channel 15 or 17, I think. What does that mean? Does code 20 mean this? Why would they be used on FRS, GMRS unit in? Code 20 officer needs assistance. I don't know, but let me just tell you, the federal government and the police use basically ham radios. If you look at every radio that the law enforcement owns is connected to a ham radio and a repeater. So basically, for example, you see the FCC license for the law enforcement. So they're not using GMRS, they're using ham, specially designed radios, specially designed hams that are trunking systems. So, that's the thing. And 2309, did you even Google 2309? What is a code 2039, Law enforcement. So 1020, 1023. Yeah, so you see that? They're not even telling you, that's the thing. It's secret, What is the code 2039 law enforcement? So, it's out of date, right? Let's see here. 20. Yeah, so, 20 could be medical fire as acute trauma case. For police, there is the old police codes is we all know what a 1055 is a corner. Yeah, the thing is they got rid of these a long time ago. Code 4 means all clear. 1144 deceased person. Thing is 1110's. So a 10-7 out of service, 10-7A home personal, 10-10A car-to-car transmission. Check the welfare of at 1042. Yeah, so basically 1066 suspicious person. 1079 bomb threat. You see this? This is all codes they don't even use anymore. I mean, literally. So when Higgins says, what is a 1020, fine. What is a code 20? Law enforcement. That's the thing he asked, and I was like, I have no clue. So officer needs assistance. Okay, and then what is a code 309? See, you can always look. Law enforcement. 309 is armed hold up in progress. Officer needs assistance. So if it's officer needs assistance, code 309 is apparently officer need hold up armed. Oh no, it might be sexual assault. Yeah. So thing is, the thing is these these are old, man. So if they're still using the old codes, that's a different system. But he emailed saying, "Oh, the post office," and the problem is I have no clue. Okay. Oh, we got 2 more updates of the Trump indictment arrest. Apparently, his fingerprints were given. And now let's see what the 3 new updates. Wow, we're getting some really good updates today. Trump indictment now public. Prosecutor alleged Trump was part of an unlawful plan to suppress negative information, including a legal payment of $130 that was ordered by the defendant to suppress the negative information that would hurt his campaign. Wow. Everyone gets paid off at some time or other. So why is it considered a commitment of a crime? It's maybe a commitment of a crime in God's eyes for adultery, but the reason he committed the crime of falsifying business records was in part to promote his candidacy. For his first time, Trump and his lawyers can fully examine the extent of the charges against him and what prosecutors must prove at the trial. Criminal charges stem from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's investigation of hush money payments. Wow. So hush money payments got him nailed. Isn't that stupid? The women who claim they had extramarital affairs with Trump, which he denies. Really? That's interesting. Trump denies all wrongdoing, and his lawyer said they'll fight to get the charges dropped. Well, if they can't get the charges dropped, then, he's innocent until proven guilty. A lot of people are saying he's guilty already, but you know what? You can't say he's guilty till he gets a fair shake. Now, a lot of people saying he can't get a fair shake, but yeah, didn't I read that? Yeah, when in the indictment against Donald Trump, former president was involved in conspiracy to undermine the integrity of the 2016 elections. Prosecutors alleged Trump was part of an unlawful plan, yada, 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 130,000 campaign. The indictment alleged the reason he committed the crime of falsifying business to promote his candidacy. In court today, Trump's voice was measured. He walked in slowly, scanning the reporters in the courtroom. He looked at the judge when he was speaking. Yeah. Next one is the next in-person hearing date for formal Trump is December 4th in New York. But yeah. So he's got a long time to get everything in order. Now, what's that going to tell you about federal charges? No one knows, you see. More news and more news. So if Higgins, and if there was a police scanner on an FRS GMRS radio, Higgins wouldn't have actually heard it because his county's all digital, so his radio wouldn't be doing, What? There's a new gun. Hold on. All right, so let me just tell you guys a story. All right. Now, remember what I said about prepping, right? Remember how I said, excuse me, got a tinkle again. Coffee is going through there. Come on. How you doing, Bobikins? I am Bobikins. Come here, let me meet you. All right, peeps, let's finish this discussion. So I turned around, and as I said to you all, you guys are sitting there, okay? You're all worried about Donald Trump and indictment. The Trumpers are like, oh, well, it's illegal. Don't care. You see, what I care about is your safety. What I care about is you prepping, okay? Now, let me tell you a story. Between May and September, we're going to be out of money. And they're not raising the debt ceiling. All they're doing is threatening to cut off the Justice Department on all this funding. But thing is if they basically do this, they cripple the elderly. They're trying to make a stand. We're going to fuck the elderly. We're going to fuck everyone over. We don't give a shit, okay? This is the Republicans, okay? The Democrats are like, we're not dealing and we're not making a deal, okay? This is my own opinion and how I perceive it. But the point is, the American people need their money. But how are they not going to get their money? You see where I'm going with this? So a lot of you preppers out there, you got to see that the black swan's about to do nuclear attack. You got beautiful Mama Fanny, who's working her ass off making jewelry and selling it at her little swap meets. But, Mama Fanny doesn't email me much and says stuff like, oh, we should be worried about nuclear, war or California getting nuked. Remember, she's in California. Mother Fanny had intel, but Mother Fanny passed away. So she doesn't even have to worry about us going through hell. So let me just tell you the story, okay? A lot of you preppers out there, I love all you, by the way. A lot of you preppers out there. So basically, one of the things I want to share with you is the American people, right? The American people need to realize that this is your last chance in your window to get your preps in order. You see, what is the most important thing in the world? Okay, I'm looking at police scanners as I'm talking to you because I have a reason for looking at police scanners. And my damn thing broke yet again. You see this? This damn thing pops off more than anything. I've already cleared it like 20 times. Okay, there we go. So, point being is I'm looking at police scanners while talking to you. Why? Because listening to the police scanner comforts me. But one of the things I want to tell you about is what are you going to do in the future? What are you going to do in the future? See, I love all of you. You see, you got people out there, okay? This is how you got people out there, okay? Let me tell you what I think of some people out there in the world, okay? People in the world. People in the world. I got another update from the Trump indictment. Let's see what the new update is. Former president is frustrated and upset after arraignment. Really? Speaking outside court of his arraignment, Donald Trump's attorney, Todd Blanche, said his client is frustrated and upset. I'd be frustrated and upset too. Accused the prosecutor in this case of turning a completely political issue into a political persecution. It's not a good day. I don't expect this to happen in this country. You don't expect this to happen to somebody who was the president of the United States. He referred to the indictment as a boilerplate and claimed it doesn't allege any federal crime and state crime. Any federal crime and state crime that's been violated. On the charges against Trump violence, we're going to fight it and fight it hard. Well, that's what you got to do. And if he gets basically arrested and detained for his crime, then you know what? You see? Now, can we continue with what I'm talking to you guys about? Because this is very important to me. All right. So, as I'm telling you guys about prepping, right? I'm going to tell you a story. As a prepper, a lot of you preppers out there message me and you're like, what's the most major important thing about prepping? Food, water, potassium iodide tablets. A lot of you guys look at me all the time and say, oh, she's crazy. Think about it. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Republicans and the Democrats aren't going to be able to save you. Even Tildor said this. So, all right. That's what I was looking at right here. Cool. So, a lot of you have asked me, about things like communications after a nuclear attack. Your focus is not about communications, okay? I was telling Higgins this the other day. If a nuclear attack happened, the radiation could screw up the radio airwaves, pretty much. But at the same time, you guys are focusing on the wrong thing. You see, as a prepper, you got to ask yourself the one true question in the world. Are you going to worry about Donald Trump's indictment saying, oh, well, you're not a country, or are you going to worry about nuclear Armageddon? Think about it. Donald Trump is just a speck in what's happening. Tildor said it best himself. Should I share with you the comments again? He says, right here, the black swan. I'm going to just see if I can actually fit the whole comment into it. Here's what he says. The black swan is getting ready to lift off. Derivative and explosion is on the horizon. When this monster goes down, it will curl your toenails. Nuclear attack. Keep your heads on a swivel and prep like you have a pair. You see? I want to share this one too. Then Tildor posts this, right? This is too funny. You see, it's getting ready to lift off. What does that mean exactly for you, the preppers? It means if you don't get your head out of your ass and start prepping, you're not going to, and if you think, oh, you'll just get vaporized, no, you'll die slow, painful death, probably radiation poisoning. I will be sitting in here with no power, going through losing my mind, or maybe not, just depends on how many people flee, or et cetera, et cetera. But think about it from this old lady's perspective. What's going to happen in the future? Let me just show you this. This one's pretty funny too, okay? I want to answer this for Tildor. Oh, so apparently, to save money, I have decided to move in with Rita. Better have a room in the fridge for my beer and plenty of chew on hand. Higgins can move in as well. During tough times, we have to pool our resources. Rita's a good cook and will take care of us. Think about it. Rita will be a good cook. Oh, got another update, by the way. Hold on a sec. Let me take that out. Latest update is Trump tried to delay hush money payment until after 2016. An election indictment says Access Hollywood tape became public in October. Told Cohen that adult film star Stormy Daniels claimed she had an affair with Donald Trump. Cohen, the indictment said, negotiated a hush money payment. Daniels secured Daniels' silence, prevent disclosure of the damaging information in the final weeks before the election. Trump, however, allegedly instructed Cohen to pay off Daniels for hold off paying Daniels as long as possible. He instructed Cohen that if he could delay the payment until after the election, they could avoid paying altogether, because at that point it would not matter if the story became public, the indictment said. Cohen pleaded guilty in federal crimes including tax fraud, lying to Congress, campaign financing. Hold on a sec. Hello? She's in the shower right now. Can I take a message? Oh, yes. I'm the one that set it up for her, actually, ma'am. I will get a pen in 1 second because I have my pen in my office. I will be going there. You probably have live on YouTube. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Sorry about that, peeps. We were at the Tildor thing, right? Yeah, I was gonna mute it, but you know what? This is better entertaining. So, we got more updates. I got Tinkle in a minute, anyways. So, says here, prosecutor raised concerns about social media posted. The judge a packet of former President Trump's social media posts. Prosecution threatening the city, the justice, and the court. The attorney responded to Trump as first amendment as Trump was expressing his frustration with alleged illegal leaks from the district attorney. Judge Juan Merchant acknowledged Trump's right to speak, but warned both sides not to incite violence or civil unrest with words or actions. He was showing more social media posts. You have to take a closer look at. Neither side made a request for a gag order, and Merchant said they're nowhere near the need for one yet. He advised them to tap down the rhetoric, in particular speaking of former President Trump, not to make any statements that would incite any violence or threats against any official. The arraignment lasted 45 minutes. It was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Trump spoke only a few times when entering his not guilty plea. The prosecutor said it was part of the parenthood, and allegedly the prosecutor don't have all the additional details of what might be included, but about 60 members of the press were inside the courtroom. They were not allowed to have any electronic devices. So, first of all, what is these 34 counts? It's been unsealed. Now we just got to digest it all. All the charges against Trump related to records kept by the Trump Organization. Wow, you see, they're really going after him. Each criminal charge Donald Trump is facing relates to a specific entry among the business records. Manhattan prosecutors are repeatedly causing false statements or entries into the business record. They all alleged false entries related to invoices of Michael Cohen, general ledger of Donald Trump, and his trust to Donald J. Trump's. It's kept by the Trump Organization. All the entries are identified as being made in 2017. Wow. So, there you go. Now, you guys are probably wondering what's going on. I need to check on a couple things. Give me 1 second. Got Tinkle. Got to Chloe, hurry up. You do know you have like 53 minutes.
Yeah, I do.
Whatever. I got to go to the door for 1 second. Shit, man.
Almost done.
Anyway, you finish showering. I have to see Trish is in. Okay, Pete. Sorry about this. I need to talk to you all about prepping. Oh, another news update from Donald Trump's campaign. I can't even sit down and pass gas without it. Prosecutors say they intend to have for Stormy Daniels to be a witness. There you go. See? Now, let me just check on something. I need to send a message to someone. 2 things I need to do. So, this. All right, so what I need to do is send this to Chloe on Instagram. And that's one thing I do. I use Instagram as a messenger program for Intel. And then I need to, let's see, messages. Someone emailed me. Oh, actually, you know what? Don't like that. So let's just see what Chloe writes. 1,000,000 ways to die in the West, huh? Okay. Okay. You need to send a quick message. All right. So All right, so I got 2 intels to do. So next is all right. I doubt she'll get back to me. All right, so I sent this to Chloe. So if she messages me, I'll hear it. In the meantime, I got to tell you guys a story, okay? You know how someone said, what am I going to do without Chloe? Apparently, that was the state of Washington, okay? I'll brief you on that news now. State of Washington messaged me, right? Messaged me, and I said I'm Chloe's roommate. And then I explained what happened to Chloe, right? The lady who's with the state of Washington listened to me carefully. Little Asian woman. Won't give her name, sweetheart. Gave me a stack of numbers to go call, saying that Chloe's rights have not just been violated, but the law has been violated. Now, I need to get in touch with my friend because I'm only going to feed her the info. It's her job to do the job. Okay, I'm staying out of this. I don't care if Chloe stays or leaves. Personally, Chloe's already on her way out. So, as I said to the lady, Chloe has nothing to lose. Plain and simple. So, to me, this just basically opens up Chloe's desire to make the manager pay in her own way. So apparently Alvin Braggs holds a news conference. Yep, he has to basically give him a pat on the back for arresting Donald Trump. Trump pleaded not guilty to 34 felony charges, criminal charges of falsifying business in the first degree. Prosecutor let Trump depart an unlawful plan to suppress negative information, including an illegal payment. Order the yada. It's all about the illegal payment. Bragg, a former New York State and federal prosecutor, remained tight-lipped on the details of the probe into the hush money when he inherited from his predecessor, Cy Vance, who became the investigator. Trump was still in the White House. The indictment against Trump was unsealed Tuesday. So 34 counts of felony business things. Apparently they're really trying to make this really watertight, So, anyways, hopefully we get some information. So, anyways, the point I'm making is hold on. I just hope there. See, I basically said it in the way. See, this is what I said to my neighbor. Okay, now I'm only got intel. I can feed her the intel. What she does with it's her business. Okay. Hold on, I gotta close the fucking door in the bathroom. No, I was in the room. Okay, so the intel I told her was if not, that's fine. You there? If not, that's fine. I have a few more info for you and some intel I want to share. But since you disappear for a few days at a time, I can wait. Just hope when you get in, you still are in the proper window to utilize the intel. You see, the problem is she basically, see? So, anyways, let's get on with the comments, okay? Higgins, Tildor, said some other stuff, rummage sale. The whole Chloe thing. Domino effect. Yeah, Wells Fargo's the next one to take a dump. That's what he said 3 weeks ago, but Wells Fargo's still around, which reminds me it's only 417, which means, if I'm reading this correctly, the Dow Jones has closed today at a lower average of 198. So it closed at approximately 4 o'clock, unless they closed at 5. So went down almost 0.60 points. So if it starts dropping every day, then we got a problem, okay? So that's why a lot of people are complaining about what's going on. Oh, hold on a sec. Hold on. Oh, okay, cool. So basically, let's see what she says. So the plot thickens. Yeah. So my friend emailed me. All right. Hey Higgins, emailed me. I got an email back real quick. So she's, whoops. All right, so another 4 updates just came in on the indictment of Donald Trump. So we have Trump invited David Pecker to his inauguration, White House prosecutor says. After winning the presidential between election day and inauguration, during the period defendants transitioned roles, President defendant met with AMI CEO privately Trump Tower in Manhattan. Trump thanked Pecker for handling Playboy playmate Karen McDougal's affair allegations, a story from a former Trump World Tower doorman who claimed to have knowledge of an alleged affair between Trump and ex-housekeeper, which resulted in a child. He also invited Pecker to attend a 2017 inauguration. In summer 2017, according to statement fact, Trump also invited Pecker to the White House for dinner to thank him for help. Let's just see if he has an alleged affair with a woman and has cleaning on an affair Trump and ex-housekeeper, which resulted in child. The housekeeper had a child, and the DNA proved it. That's a whole bag of worms. Normalize criminal conduct, no matter who you are. Manhattan District Judge Alvin Bragg, following former Trump's Tuesday. Ugh. 34 false statements covering up other crimes. Right. We'll see what happens. He's innocent until proven guilty. So apparently they also say some payments central to Trump charges came directly from his bank accounts. Each check was processed to the Trump organization. Each check was disguised as a payment for legal services rendered in a given month, pursuant to a retainer agreement. Yeah, in a statement of facts. Right. Yeah. Prosecutors' alleged scheme was aimed at suppressing negative information. Really. In furtherance as a candidacy for presidency. See, I don't really give a shit, but this is stuff we got to talk about. Former lawyer Michael Cohen, who described as a lawyer A in the statement of facts in American Media Inc., the owner of the National Enquirer tabloid, specifically the statement notes that AMI had admitted that it made a payment to a source of a story to ensure the source did not publicize damaging allegations about Trump before the 2016 elections. So there you go. So they're all tooting their horns now, trying to get the American people on board. So anyways, I got an appointment in approximately 37 minutes. So I got 37 minutes. I will be restarting my computer sooner or later. I'm trying to see if there's anything about okay, ladies, pull up your bootstraps. It's going to be a bumpy ride. Prep like your parent, crew, chew and whiskeys. School's in session. Rita's got this. Yes. Well, secure Fox. I'm giving you the fight because. Oh yeah. And then General Urudite. Yeah. So. Two shits about the MAGA T nugget channels out there. Yeah. Kiss your ass. Keep your ass in a swivel. You drag your feet now. Rita rocks. I don't remember where it said something about the black swan. Nothing burger, lock and load. Yeah. Black Swan prep like shit. Read it for teacher of the year. Yeah, see, there you go. The Black Swan a month ago is flapping its wings. Soon it will be airborne. Prep because this time is running out. Let me just share that one with you. See, this was a month ago. Tildor posted this. And he's completely and thoroughly right because think of it from my point of view. The Black Swan is coming soon. See, let me just do this, right? Yeah, that means the Black Swan's coming due to the fact that you got NATO. Yeah. And then 2 months ago, I got to make a phone call real quick. Actually, no, I don't need to make a phone call real quick. What I need to do, people, is I need to run to the restroom and give Chloe the phone. And look like hell she's out. But she got 3 calls to make. Oh, damn it, I need to piss. There's no piss. By the way, number on the top, this one, 425 number, is the state. I'll talk to her right away. She's waiting. Second, she's got. Sorry about that, peeps. I've been so fucking busy today. So the state of Washington turned around, right, and emailed us. Great. I just got done using the Tinkler, and this is what I get again. Another message, another. Participant in the alleged scheme knew payoffs were unlawful. Participant in the alleged hush money and Michael Cohen admitted payoff to two women were unlawful. Late 2018, American Media Inc., AMI, the publisher of National Enquirer, entered into a non-prosecution agreement with the Southern District of New York's U.S. Attorney's Office relating to paying Karen McDougal, Playboy Playmate apparently, for a story about Trump. Statement of facts that AM told authorities they never intended to publish McDougal's story, made the payment to McDougal so that she did not publicize damaging the allegation about Donald Trump before the election, therefore influencing the election. According to him, the document also cited Cohen's federal guilty plea, which said Cohen worked at the direction of Trump to arrange payment for the two women. McDougal started down with stop stories that could be harmful to Trump. Wow. Bunch of ball-washing bastards, if you ask me. But you know what? Let's see what the comments say. EMP is coming from KEKT. Well, hello, KEKT. The black swan is flapping its wings. Yeah, well, remember what I said. The black swan's about to fly. So the point is, you preppers need to get ready to go. It's getting liftoff, and a lot of people have asked me why. Well, think of it. Ukraine literally is on the payroll. Yeah. So what do I got to do soon? Well, so until we are, you know, a lot of you guys out there, you know, you're sitting there, you're watching me, you're thinking of me, you know, this is big news. I mean, literally, got the day that Trump's indicted is the day that Finland becomes a NATO member. History is writing itself, but at what cost to the American people? The world people. Now, KEKT, what makes you think an EMP is coming? I mean, literally, what makes you think an EMP is going to come? That's the thing. What makes you think an EMP is coming? So, while I'm thinking about it, I better grab a pen, and we will write down real quick something. Let's see. That can be filled tomorrow. So today we need dish soap, trash bags. Oh, actually, I ordered those online. Soap, conditioner, razors. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Maybe some beef. Need some milk. Have Chloe checking about the cheese. Then I need buns, bread. Okay. That's about it, I think. Oh. I can order more online to get through. Mm. Trying to think what else I want. Higgins, what do you think? Should I get something else? You guys know I'm just working. I'm gonna put that in my briefcase. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Dave, London, where's Chloe now? Where she is should be. She's getting dressed, getting ready for a therapist. What's it to you? I mean, everyone comes in here and they're like, where's Chloe? Chloe's in her room right now. Why would you care? Well, I'm going to post this on the screen for y'all because currently this ain't a channel just about Chloe. This is about prepping. We've already made the phone calls needed to be right now. Where is Chloe now? You spelled it wrong. Where is Chloe now? Chloe is freaking in her room, like I said. She's basically getting ready to go to her therapist appointment. She's also making 3 phone calls. One to the state, who called me about group home or her own apartment or assisted living. Second thing is the lady who I talked to in the state basically gave us some other info. So why would you care where Chloe is anyways? I mean, literally, Chloe's already signed herself off the lease. So technically, she's got till the 30th of the month, and then Chloe goes bye-bye. You see, she threw herself away by signing herself off the lease. I mean, look, Tildor basically said this about Chloe. Let me show you the comment that he posted about Chloe. He says, Rita, you are caught between a rock and a hard place in what I've referred to as a shit hook. That means abuse. You have to go with the flow and hope for the best regarding the Chloe situation. Well, we're trying, but let me show what Tildor said. Tildor says, Rita, you're caught between a rock and a hard place in what we refer to as a shit hook. You have just to go with the flow and hope for the best regarding the Chloe situation. Hope this helps and share your pain. Hang in there. See? And think of it. Tildor's completely right. Thing is, I told the state lady what's going on. That's all I can do. State lady has to do it, The second thing is, more updates on Donald Trump again. See, we're not getting anything from Ukraine. Trump has departed New York and right to Florida. He's going to post comments later tonight. So, there you have it. Yep. So, where is Chloe now? Why would you care where Chloe is? I mean, look, you're like that other person earlier. What am I going to do when Chloe leaves? You see? This lady here above the comments. See? No one cares. You see? No one cares. That's the thing. I got 22 minutes until my therapist appointment, so I have to go soon. And then I spend, but, the the black swan is flapping its wings. Yeah. See, that's what Tildor said. Tildor said earlier, right here, this is something that Tildor said that's really important. Black Swan is getting ready to lift off. This is something that you need to listen carefully. Derivative implosion is on the horizon, or he should have said derivative implosion is catastrophic and avoidable. Where this monster goes down, it will curl your toenails. Keep your head on a swivel and prep like you have a pair. So I keep telling you guys, there's a new barebone preppers list in my About Me page that you can, point is, you got to think. So with Donald Trump being indicted, to Finland joining, this is something that I'd like to share with you guys once again before I leave. For some of you that's been here this long, I want to reiterate this. And it says, quote unquote, so right here, it says here, for example, we just spent $2.6 billion military aid package to Ukraine. What do we send this time? On Tuesday, package includes $500 million drawdown equipment such as ammunition for high mobility artillery rocket systems, HIMARS, and additional munitions for Patriot missile systems, artillery and mortar rounds, heavy fuel tankers, and tactical recovery vehicles in its 35th drawdown of U.S. equipment for Ukraine since 2021. The administration's allocating $2.1 billion in Ukraine Security Assistance Initiative Fund, which has produced significant package of air defense capability and air surveillance, radar, and counter unmanned aerial systems, 30mm gun trucks, as well as Javelin anti-armor system, 23 million rounds of smart arms and munition. Pentagon's release announcing the aid on Tuesday, the U.S. will continue to work with its allies to provide Ukraine with the capabilities to meet its immediate battlefield needs and long-term security assistance requirements at the taxpayers' expense. And then this one, Ukraine welcomes donation MiG-29s and reiterates call for modern Western combat planes. Again, modern combat planes. But you know what? It's funny because if you look at the news article, right? Soviet-style aircraft are suited for a quick response that will give results in a short time. However, the MiGs from Poland will see. Putin said anyone gave Ukraine airplanes, they would attack that country or nuke them. Well, Poland gave it to them. Right now, confident that the decision to provide Ukraine with Western aircraft will certainly be made. This is the last item in my Christmas wish list to Santa. Really, I hope Santa basically turns it down again. To date, no Western country has pledged to provide combat aircraft to Ukraine while the conflict in Russia is ongoing. Putin and Lukashenko will hold talks in Moscow this week. Why? Because they're working to put nuclear missiles into Belarus. So one of the things I want to share with you is this, right? In this report, you know, so, they're going to challenge China this week for China to convince Russia to leave Ukraine. And here it is, the word that I want you to remember, tactically and strategically. Moscow accused NATO of threatening Russia's security and national interests by officially welcoming Finland to the alliance at a ceremony in Brussels later today. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told journalists that Finland's ascension is an aggravation to the situation, referring to Moscow's claim that military alliance is planning to encroach on Russia's borders. I think Russia's president is paranoid. Finland shares 800-mile, 1,300-kilometer border with Russia, but NATO Security General Jens Stoltenberg told reporters earlier that the alliance troops would only be stationed in Finland with the consent of Finland. The move, Peskov warned, would force Moscow to take countermeasures to ensure our own security, both tactically and strategically, which he was talking about nuclear. Think about that. Tactically and strategically. I want to use this, both tactically and strategically. I'm going to post that as a comment for you guys. Tactically and strategically. Think about it. I'm going to put it on the screen too. He said Moscow would keep monitoring the situation and the deployment of NATO infrastructure and weapons on the territory of Finland, and that the response measures will be taken accordingly. Let me comment to that right there. I'll share that with you. While Russia promises for the party to fend off NATO for expanding close to its borders, Peskov rejects claim Finland's ascension, a direct response to the war, was geopolitical defeat for President Putin, claiming it's fundamentally different from the situation with the Ukraine. Think about it. How's this for prepping you guys? Right here. This is just the headline. A headline that I'm posting next. Shoigu has claimed that the Belarusian aircraft have been upgraded to be able to carry out nuclear strikes in response to NATO's imminent threat expansion. See? Let's post this. Isn't that interesting, The Russian defense minister claims the decision to give Belarus nuclear capability system in response to NATO's expansion toward Russia's border with Finland joined the alliance on Tuesday. Think about it. This is why you're prepping people. Now, let me share with you the rest, because Russian defense minister claimed decision to give Belarus nuclear capable system in response to NATO's expansions at the border with Finland joined the alliance Tuesday. Whoops. However, Shoigu. Whoops. Did I actually skip something in there? However, says the retaliatory measures were necessary in defending security of the Union state because they're paranoid. Yeah, and then you got this. NATO is carrying out a set of measures, increased combat readiness of joint armed forces, intensified combat training and reconnaissance activity near the borders of Russia and Belarus. In the near future, Finland will become a member of the alliance, he said. The defense minister's remarks follow Russian President Putin construction facility for tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. Does this say all you guys need to know to prep? Yes. Weapons Belarus. I got emails came in. You see this. Let me download this stuff. It says download, doesn't it? Okay. Okay. Download this too. Can we zoom in? Oh, yeah, I can. What the hell? Signed out again? I was trying to read this. Just let me read these. Damn it. So, let's just get this done so I can read it offline. Okay, so she highlighted that. So, wow. And Tildor says this dog don't hunt. How many pages is this? Because frankly, I'm going to have to download it all and read it all. Hmm. All right, so I got to get going. So the plan is I'm going to go to, we got 5 more updates from Donald Trump. Let's see what it says. Lawmaker react to felony cases. Mitt Romney said you're called mad as overreach. Trump ally called arrest shameful. Jim Jordan, equal justice under the law. Retreat Jordan the Post. Taylor Stinney. Charging documents subscribed to AMI silence Trump's doorman. Learned to put Trump at the center of alleged catch and kill scheme. Trump and Cohen worked out repayment deal in Oval Office. Trump had departed New York en route. Okay, so with this said, everyone, I need to send a Google Voice real quick. I got to get going. So with that said, everyone, stay tuned for an update later. Please add and subscribe, post comments, leave feedback, suggest, hit the like, subscribe button, social fun for your family, including your dogs, cats, bunnies, service bunnies. Thanks for watching. God bless you and everything you do.